Good evening, good morrow, and good day, and welcome to another edition of Slice and Dice here with the Manylands campaign. Our first session of 2020. We've already had our technical difficulties, but we're back. So sorry about that.
Are we?
You are back now, which you can't see, but we'll sort that out later. Anyway, welcome to today's edition of Slice and Dice here with the Manylands campaign. It's okay, Marshall, we can hear you now. It's all good. We don't need to do...
But we can't see us.
No sight.
It doesn't matter. Let's play the game.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Jack.
So just to say that, because you missed it, as you can see on my left, we've got our latest sale on in the merch store throughout January to get rid of those January blues. Just use the code SADJAN20 to get 20% off throughout January.
20 sessions. I didn't know that we were sad. That was...
Yeah, I was like, S&D? No, let's call it SAD. That sounds so much better. So yeah, SAD Jan20. Think of your friend Janet who's upset, and you'll get 20% off if you write that SAD Jan20 in as a discount code on the merch store. So do that right now, and you could get some of these lovely T-shirts that some of the players here are modelling for you today. And hiya Jade, thanks for tuning in, Jade Fury. Who can help me to create my character? Perhaps we can help you later on. Anyway, without any further ado, let's jump into today's session of Slice and Dice. Okay, here we go. And we are back. Sorry, you getting a bit carried away with singing, so I thought I'd jump in there. Anyway, welcome to our session. So to recap on what happened a few weeks ago now.
You murdered us.
That didn't happen. That's not true at all.
Not all of us.
No. Only two of you died, and it was only a dream. That I'll get out.
Let him do the callback, and then we'll determine it afterwards.
Yeah, get on with it. Yeah, thanks, Matt. Okay, so last time you guys were you were on your way to this ball at Rachfell Manor that you are going to in place of Councillor Tarquin Potter, whom owes you a bit of a debt already for saving the town of Hilberg from a werewolf. But it turns out that this werewolf became so perhaps through some wine that had been tainted, had been spiked with lycanthropy. So following this lead, you found that there is more of this that has been delivered already or is due to be delivered to Rachfell Manor. You're not entirely sure what's happened with that, but given what the trail has given you so far, it would be reasonable to assume at this point that the wine has already been delivered to the manor. As you found through the barkeep of the inn you're currently in, the Miner's Arms, who is currently tied up to a chair and asleep. Yep. You found that he was employed, he was paid, he was told to give money to the courier once the contract had been completed, and apparently that had been done. So you know that the wine has been delivered. You know that much. Anyway, so you're currently staying over at the Miner's Arms. You're due to head on to the ball, which is happening in a day's time. But something has scuppered your plans slightly, and that was that one of your party, turns out, wasn't who they said they were. They were actually a doppelganger of your party member, Neris, which you uncovered through some shady behaviour on their part, but also through some canny use of Zone of Truth. Managing to get to the bottom of that little mystery, and you decided the best thing to do, because she was the only one who can lead you to where Neris currently is, who is being held captive by you don't know who. Apparently, the best thing to do is to keep a hold of the doppelganger, because they've agreed to lead you to her. So you've locked her in a chest. I say locked, you've tied up her chest with rope.
She's tied up in the chest
as well, and the chest is tied up, and you even slept on the case, so it's pretty well stuck in there. And then, if that wasn't enough, overnight you had a shared dream, very strange shared dream.
Was it overnight, or was it actually what was
over day? You're quite right. It was over day because you're on slightly different time patterns to get to the ball at the right time. You could say a nightmare, a daymare. You could say a bit of a
I
mare.
died.
It was a mare nonetheless.
That's not a pleasant dream.
Where the 5 of you
For
were
you.
tasked with fighting a frost giant out in the snow. Didn't know where exactly. 2 of you were defeated and killed by the beast, seemingly. Murdered, you could say. Yes, in combat. But 3 of you, and particularly with the final blow by your Loxodon cleric Malar, managed to overcome this frost giant, much to the surprise of the entity that had summoned you there, a very squat, very large halfling who said that his name was Steve. He was impressed with your efforts. He was surprised that you managed to overcome a frost giant for many reasons, but apparently this was a test because of the war that is to come, and other foreboding language was used. And while the rest of you were sent on your way back to the land of the living, Malar was left behind shortly to have a conversation privately with Steve, who also offered you a gift, a necklace with an hourglass. A silver hourglass dangling from it, a pendant, before you returned to the world. And upon your return, you all wake up having long rested. You've done your change of guard with Howland guarding the doppelganger, and you're all now back awake and ready to continue on your journey. Is there anything you'd like to do at the tavern before you guys leave?
I think everyone should also be aware that overnight we leveled up.
You should also level up as well. Your dream somehow made you stronger.
Oh, the only thing I want to do before I go, because we're going somewhere where the water is poisoned with well stuff that we know of, I'd like to buy several water skins and fill them up with water and stuff.
It's the wine, I think.
Wine.
Okay.
I'm not thinking those
I'm
words.
just taking a chance. So I just want to purchase a lot of everything. I just want as many water skins as they've got.
Sure.
Anything travelable.
Okay, sure.
That's all I-
Do you say you want to purchase these things?
Okay, he's tied up. Yeah, I'm just going to take him.
I mean, because there is a barmaid who has.
This is the same one that saw us get thrown through a wall, kill people, and start a riot.
Has she come back to work?
She did
She was
come back.
dedication.
Yeah, she ran away and then she came back later on. She's come back
She thinks
during
we're,
your sleep.
she thinks we're in charge.
got
She
no-
knows we've got prisoners.
I
Yeah,
got
I'm just
nowhere
gonna-
else to go.
I'm just going to ask for them. It's like, yeah, can you give me all the water skins we have? We work here.
Bottles.
I mean, she looks like quite pale and quite nervy around you. You can. There's some in the storage area. I don't really want to go in there.
That's the, okay. Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
Go in there, open the door. Morning.
Yep, your two
Morning,
captives are still there.
And,
Alan, the one-handed man, and the other one
Yeah, it's good.
with the hat that you stole.
Evening now.
It's now
we've ruined
evening,
our
yes.
sleep pattern.
Yeah.
Evening, and I'm just going to look for the water skins.
All right, make an investigation check.
Oh, yay. Investigation. That read my investigation? God, that shit. 17.
17. All right, so you managed to find 4 water skins.
We slept for 8 hours,
Yes,
Yes.
we did.
and they've been in there. Enjoy the smell of that room. That's all I'm saying.
It's not pretty.
Cool. 4 water skins, and I'll go ask the barmaid and fill them up with water from wherever they get their towns of water from.
Yeah, there's a cask of water like in the bar.
Then
you can
yeah,
accept
I'll
it.
fill that water. Just want to make sure I'm not getting werewolfed.
Whilst Sophie's doing that, Malar will be frantically running around trying to find paper, parchment, pen, ink. He wants to write down everything that's just
Sure.
happened. So.
Make an investigation check. Yeah.
Investigation is 7.
Okay. The only book that you find, or any bits of parchment you find in your frantic looking, you examine the room that you're in. You start tearing apart a little sort of tidy, a little table, and there's nothing in there. There's nothing inside the writing desk. Go downstairs. The only thing you find is the booking book, which is relatively empty, as you know from when you guys glanced at it before. This is the only tome you can find.
I'm awfully sorry, miss. And I grab the pages that have been used so far. Maybe give a couple extra there. Just tear those out, lay them down, take the book, take the quill, take the ink. I go and I just sit down at the table and I just start making a note about
Everything that happened in your dream.
Everything that happened in the dream. I'm going to refer to this as my journal now.
Okay, alright. You can now have a makeshift, 4 pages of journal. Which you've managed to rip away, and you've also taken a quill and an inkwell as well. She's just looking startled.
I put 2 silver down just as a payment for that.
She laughs nervously and just kind of stands very rigidly still. I don't suppose you know where the boss is, do you?
At this point, I'm going to walk over and be like, are you the most senior of the staff?
Oh, I'm the most regular, yeah.
Sure, regular sounds the same.
I mean, we're all about the same level other than, boss man.
Well, I've got news for you. You're the new boss person.
What?
Yep. It's an up-and-coming business, and you're the one that's up.
You just up and come.
The boss is still alive.
Yeah, but he's a criminal and our prisoner.
We're currently negotiating with him.
Make a deception check for me.
Sure.
This isn't the truth.
Even if it is, it's not true that she's the boss. You're making her the boss.
Are we just going to let him run the place?
What's the alternative?
Yes, the Oberyn. What is the alternative?
Put him in prison for.
Prison.
We take him to one.
We've fucked up this town.
Hang on.
Let him do the roll. Let him do the roll.
Yeah, do the roll.
Go.
Love that sound.
Hey, that's a 10.
10. She kind of grins awkwardly at you. Huh. So, is Hogarth not coming back?
Well, he did sort of try and get a lot of people killed. So we're thinking it's probably not best if he just, lives without any kind of punishment.
Did he try and get those men killed? The ones that are in the room with your friend at the moment?
Yes. He's also shipped poison to a big event, and he tried to kill our friend in the. Are you wearing your oversized hat at the moment or not? No. In the gentleman without the hat and the scarf and the blue.
The greyish skinned one.
Yes.
You wouldn't describe me as that, but sure.
I mean, uncommon here.
Yeah, he's been the victim of a crime. And we need to.
So where is Hogarth?
I believe we currently have him imprisoned, but we need to hand him over to authorities.
Oh, okay. Okay. I guess I'll do what I can on my own here. Can I get you a drink or anything at all?
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. What would you like? We've got ale, wine. Again, it's kind of faltering her speech here. Just going through the motions, but she's clearly a bit shaken by what's going on.
I would like some wine, manager.
A wine manager?
Wine, manager, directed to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks Jade Fury for following, by the way.
Hey.
Just so that. Thank you very much. Anyway, all right. I got a pitcher. Well, if you want a pitcher of wine.
Thank you.
Okay. That's so 5 silver pieces.
I hand over the 5 silver pieces.
You could have got it.
Slides it over to you.
So,
excellent.
Looking
business.
confused. Yeah. I trust the rooms were sufficient.
Yes, they were wonderful.
Good. Well, I really need to change the lines at some point. Could you get your friend to remove the hostages from the room?
I'm sure we can get right on that.
Okay. Right. Thanks.
Thank you for letting us use your business.
Nothing at all. I didn't even have a choice.
Are we proposing to take the guy upstairs that's tied to a chair with us on the back of the wagon?
I mean, we need to... We're going past other towns.
I just want to know, because on the back of that wagon, there will be a statue of Lady Grenforth, a person in a box, and now this person on a chair.
This is the downside of sleep.
And luggage.
Yeah. This is the downside of sleep. When you're out of combat, much harder to kill people. Ethically.
Morally grey.
Yeah.
Depending on who it is.
There are legitimate repercussions.
I'm pretty sure a carriage is designed for more than, like, what, 2 people
Also,
and a statue.
We're going to a fancy party.
But we're going through other towns before that.
That's
Yeah,
true.
we'll offload. You know.
We're going through other towns.
Go.
We'll go...
Leo signs up to this.
As you're having this conversation over some wine, at least the two of you are, because I assume you're still in the room at this point. You hear a set of footsteps coming down the stairs quite briskly, and you see the blonde comb-over of Gant Bron coming over. Which one of you has been getting at my stuff then?
What stuff?
There's a chest of mine that is missing from the carriage, and not only that, but I've seen a few of my possessions have been scattered about up the stairs.
I will look at Zeph and step out of the way.
So you look over to the storage area.
I'll come out the storeroom.
Yeah.
So you just left the guys in there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
tied up.
For now. Yeah. Okay.
They're still tied up.
They're still
right?
tied up. Yeah.
How are they?
I mean,
Are they ripe?
I mean, they look like they've slept. One of them needs to have his trousers changed.
They're long rested. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
People are tied to a chair.
They don't
You
look
can
best
imagine they're
pleased.
Oh no.
And Alan constantly looks fearful when you're around.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so I'll leave.
Alright.
God, that's fine. I'll come with you. Morning, evening, all. How'd everyone sleep? I had the worst dream.
We were all there, Mr. Seth. Such as the will of Festive.
Was it you
What?
then, Master Elf?
Did I what?
You're the one who turned out my stuff?
Yes, that was. So you guys had the same dream as well?
I'm not entirely sure what it was. It was maybe a dreamlike space, but it was certainly no mundane dream. We met him. We met him, Mr. Seth.
So
We met him.
That was
We met
real.
him.
We met him.
So that,
Yes.
that was real. We met a god.
You hear a thud on the bar as a dagger is implanted in the table. Look around, it's Gantbron who's slammed it down into the counter. Look, will somebody tell me what the hell's going on here?
We met a god last night, Mr. Bron, and I do not take kindly to your tone.
Well, you will meet your maker soon enough unless you tell me exactly what happened to my stuff and why it's all around the upstairs of this place.
Oh, sorry, we had to use the box to imprison the doppelganger so that we didn't murder her, so that we can keep her captive until we finished killing all the
Wait, slow down a second. Slow down a second. Right. Doppelganger.
We took your stuff out the crate to put the doppelganger in the crate.
In the trunk, yes.
So that
My
we don't
suitcase.
murder her. So that later, after we murder werewolves for you, she will take us to the person that she was doppelganging.
Make a persuasion check.
Is that too slow for him?
Make a
No,
persuasion
it's just
check.
that final phrase
Yeah.
that was a bit...
Oh no.
Doppelganging.
Yeah. Persuasion. No, that's 14.
Well, the least you could have done was asked my permission before strewing my stuff around hither and yon.
I promise for the next crate that we put a doppelganger into, we
There will not be a next crate you're going to put stuff in. First of all, it's a trunk, not a crate. Secondly, there are no more crates for you to put random people in.
That's why I promised it.
Now, who is this doppelganger you said?
Neris.
Well, Not exactly, but did I mention
The
we had a
elf.
god last night?
The elf.
It's not her. She's a doppelganger.
As in, yes, the doppelganger was the elf, right? And what is a doppelganger?
It's a magical being that can change its form to match another
Oh,
humanoid.
there's another one from the bloody stories, isn't it? Howlin!
Oh, I'm sorry. We are
Howland!
missing the fact that we
Jack time! Jack time! 2020!
2020 Jack time!
Where's Bart's book? We need
We
Bart's
need
book.
Bart's book. No! No. Anyway, yes, Howland appears with his daughter Lainey in tow. My lord, I think this is another one of these stories for your Lainey. Now, would you gentlemen please tell the young one here exactly what you was referring to, a doppelganger?
The person who may be best to tell you this would be Rexline.
Which one's Rexline?
He's the best. He knows all these magical things.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
See if you can persuade the DM to do 6 different voices.
Yeah.
10.
I've already got enough people here, thank you very much. We don't need another one muddying the waters or accents for that
Well, we
matter.
can leave if you want to speak to Rexline.
There we go, lovely, thank you. Lovely typeface. Anyway,
I'll
calligraphy.
get Fleeting to bring him down for you as well.
No, that won't be necessary. Now, Lainey, what do you know about these doppelgangers? Oh, well, she's going to make an intelligence check, well, history check for you. Oh, that's not very good. I think I read a book once that was, I think maybe it was some sort of Larandlac culture-y thing that stories about beings that could change their shape into any other person. They could be any kind of man, woman, or child. They could just change it on a whim. Yeah, that's about all I know though. That I can remember. Right. Well, that certainly clears that up then. Right, so say I believe that you've got a doppelganger and that you've put them away inside my trunk. What do you plan to do with them next? Sorry, your speech was so slow, I lost interest.
That's a good burn.
Yeah, that's gotcha. We're going to be taking them with us because we can leave them for the next, 4 days till we can be back here or so? Yeah, it'll be 4 or 5 days till we get back here.
We have received divine guidance. We have met Vestia. He told us that we must deal with these werewolves, and so we will be offering you assistance. But also we will be, of course, trying to rescue Miss Neris. Did I mention we met a god? We met Vestia.
I'm going to back up from him by 1 step.
Alright.
We did.
Right. Okay. So you did while we were sleeping.
The gods work in mysterious ways, but indeed, yes.
Wait,
So does liquor, my friend.
wait, Howland's down here, isn't he? Howland's down.
Howland's there. Yeah.
Who's watching a doppelganger? I ran upstairs.
Oh, bloody hell! He just watches you go up the stairs. He runs off. He runs along with you. Penny, yeah.
We will need a more secure way of dealing with that. But also, did I mention we met a god?
Yes, several times, yes.
A god.
Right. Oh, of course, my friend.
I think
you've
it's
been
quite
having
like
a bit
that
too
your
much.
first time.
I think it's been maybe having a bit too much of the nation's favourite. Yeah, all right. Anyway, that aside, gods or no, it's about time we move on. So, you ready to gather your gear and we can move along?
Indeed, I will. Let me just finish these notes and I will.
Right, and he just walks away. He just leaves you to it. And heads upstairs after Howland. So anyway, you go back up. You and Howland rush in there. The box, the chest is still there. There's rope still around it. Doesn't look like it's been disturbed.
Cool. Knock on the box. You okay in there?
No reply.
Kick the
There was a
box.
keyhole.
Yeah. We did discuss this.
I kicked the box a little bit.
Not the keyhole in a chest.
Do you
with
need
doorway.
food?
Ah!
Terrible design.
Ah, good. Do you need food?
No.
Do you want to use the bar to sound
I
board?
just want to stab it. But,
No.
okay then. Howden, help me bring us downstairs to the carriage.
Right, you are.
Um,
Assist you.
Cool. As we start to carry it towards, I'm going to be carrying the top end, and as we get to the top step, I'm just going to drop a little bit so it hits the step. And go, oh no! So sorry, Alan. Keep carrying down so it just
You're
goes
the death threat for Seth.
Oh, the Seth death threat. Yes.
down the stairs.
Boom, boom, boom.
And from the chest you hear.
First, I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna burn your hat.
I don't have a hat, suck it, bitch. And I'm going to pick up the box and help Howden carry it to the thing.
All right, and Brucon sees you going down the stairs and offers his assistance as well. So between the three of you, it's relatively easy to carry it.
It made more sense. I asked the big elephant guy that can carry things to help. But
I
yeah.
don't want it to be smooth.
You're too busy writing notes anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. So we've got statue on the roof of the carriage, decapitated head on the roof of the carriage. We should probably get rid of that. I'm carrying that.
It was in a bag.
It's in my cloak.
Yeah.
I wrapped that up. I'm done with that cloak.
Good
No
choice.
one let me put that back on if I forget. If I go to say put my cloak on, just be like,
gonna say,
don't do it.
Moo one says, "Don't touch the hat." You're quite right. Don't touch the hat.
Where can we put this crate on the thing? Is it roof?
It
or-
was on the roof rack originally.
Cool. So we'll put that back on the roof, and then we'll start. We have to talk to Gant. Ask what he's done with the bartender guy.
Howland and Brucon then start busying themselves with the chain that had been taken off of the, because originally you were going to use chain. They start fixing that back on to secure the suitcase in place. It's going to take them a little while, but you can leave them to it.
Cool. Yeah, we'll go back inside to Gant and say to Gant, what did you decide with the owner of this place?
Well, this is it's in hand. Let's say that the disagreements we may have had in this establishment, the ruckus that may have been caused, will be water under the bridge, so to speak. We just make our way, leave Hogarth to it.
He's a murderer and a mass murderer and a criminal and a monster.
Well, hang on
We've
a
got
minute.
bigger fish. We can kill him.
I mean, first of all, he hasn't murdered anyone
Attempted.
that we know of.
that we know of.
He's
no.
very happy to casually murder someone who comes into a place and goes, "Excuse me, do you know this person?" His
well,
response is, "Kill."
to be fair, he was paid for it.
That's not.
That's all I'm saying.
You really are morally bankrupt, aren't you, sir?
Well,
This guy's Masoid. The guys that we've got in the store cupboard, the ones that actually tried to kill us. What are we doing with them?
Well,
now those guys were attempted murderers. I'll give you that.
He was their boss. He told them to do it.
So what are we doing with them?
Well, the appropriate thing would be to, I guess, hand them off to some sort of local militia or the gendarmes or yes.
We started a riot and no one's been here in 10 hours. There's not people here.
It's fair to say that that Oraglor is not the most carefully watched village in the entirety of Buracrin that I've seen so far, anyway.
So if we put one, we've not got enough space for them. If we tried to take them to another village to be arrested. Two, if we have them walk in with the carriage, we'll lose time. We won't be able to rest in the next inn before we get to the part to the ball thing.
I think we're
I don't
walking
care
with,
enough about
we're
them.
walking with the carriage anyway, aren't we?
No, we're all ready.
We could always leave it to leave them to Hogarth.
8 of us.
No, we can fit in the carriage.
It's
We've got a horse as
it's
well.
a big carriage and there's a horse in there. Well, I could always try and put the fear of the gods into them.
I like fear.
Hmm.
Can I borrow that rat stuff?
The Ms. Neris's. Well, when did we lose Miss Neris? I suppose. There you go.
There you go. I'm gonna go to open the cupboard door. I'm just gonna be standing there with the stuff.
Alan
I'm just
shrieks.
gonna tentatively like. I'm just gonna tap it on the shoulder and then I'm just gonna pull back. And I'm going to the other guy. And tap. Okay. Okay, it's safe. Cool. You're free to go.
What'd you just do to us?
So if you ever, well, you remember your friend. Remember how he stabbed Rukon and exploded into rats?
That's all I can dream about. I can't sleep.
So next time you ever go to hurt anyone outside of self-defense, rats. And I'm just gonna tentatively put stuff to the side.
Oh, Mr. Seth, let me take that, and I will, by the will of the eight, I am protected.
Be careful! Sorry, it's very scared.
So if you ever go to hurt anyone, you'll be killed and eaten by rats.
Just make a little deception check for me.
Advantage?
Yeah, I'll give you advantage, yeah. I think that's warranted given what's happened before.
22.
And the one whose hat you stole is also. It's a good fit for you. That I hope you enjoy it, and we'll just
Good point.
if you wouldn't mind
did still try and
untying.
kill us, so I'm going to untie him and take off your clothes.
What?
Take the clothes off.
Then it got homoerotic.
Nope.
Alan immediately starts undressing. The other one's like, what do you intend to do with us?
Let you leave.
Naked.
Yeah.
Well, why?
In case you do anything, people have got to make sure they remember your faces.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be looking at faces.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they won't be.
Alan's like, it's such a relief. And you can see he stains on his trousers. Removes the.
Once the I'm just gonna go.
And he leaves, and the other one's right, okay, and just literally rips his clothes away. They're just tatty kind of sackcloth stuff, nothing fancy. Rips them away and dump them on the floor. 1,000 blessings from the eight on you, and he leaves.
Go.
Thank you, Agrafall, thank you.
Go. See? That's hopefully vanished.
And Hogarth?
I'm of the opinion that he should definitely be imprisoned.
Okay, let's, I guess, I'll go get him and we'll lash him to the top of the carriage. Or the back of the carriage.
If you want to.
Nala's going to be upstairs, he's going to grab his stuff, he's going to stow the rat stick. He's going to go in, grab the chair with the guy on, just lift it up and come downstairs.
I've just had an idea. We should keep him with us. He knows what the wine looks like.
Oh, indeed.
Ooh, that's a really good point. I really like that plan. That's a great plan.
This wasn't really part of the arrangement I made with Mr. Hogarth.
What arrangement?
Yes, Mr. Hogarth, what arrangement?
Well, he was going to keep quiet about the fact that we have caused such a disturbance in this village. In exchange for his silence, we were going to let him carry on.
Oh, I would be willing to honour that agreement, just after the fact.
What? Why would he need to be silent about the fact that he tried to have us murdered and we stopped him?
Because of the, as I said, the disturbance that was caused throughout the pub. As far as anyone else is concerned, it's our word against his on who started what in terms of fighting. All I know is that we have proof that one of his men is dead, and they don't have any proof that any of ours have got killed, so the blood is also on our hands.
That's because they were really bad assassins.
Granted, but still, we're as much culpable as they are in this instance.
We can go ask the naked guys for their testimony.
And the fact that there's not really a militia in this place, the people are just going to remember us as the people that gave them free gold, free booze, and he's the one that did not give them free drinks. But we'll decide on him in a few days, but he's coming with us, at least to the party, to try and decide this wine. So he's the only one that knows what it looks like.
Outside we go.
Right, okay.
And we have extra space now that Neris isn't riding on the carriage. We have space for one person.
Perfect.
That's true.
Oh, that's... indeed.
That worked out well.
If we find someone else, we can pack him into a chest and we'll have another seat.
As I told you, there are no more chests. I've none of that, thank you. I've had enough with just one in my trunk.
But as I said, we get our stuff and...
Lainey, have you finished gathering the things yet? Yes, my lord.
So are we ready to roll out?
Well, yes, I certainly am. I hope the rest of you are.
I can't remember what positions people take in. But am I still riding on the horse by myself?
Yeah, I would have. Well, unless Fleeting's up there with you.
I think the horse only fits one person. I have taken. We've got all of Neris's items that Doppel Neris had. One of them was the ring of Featherfall. Anyone mind if I do that?
Oh, I have no issue.
Are you going to be using that stuff?
No, I seriously doubt it. Not a fan of, rodents.
Fair enough.
I'll give it a go. Sounds quite. I like animals. Animals are fun.
This is going to go horrible for someone. Not us.
Brucon sort of
I'm
enters
definitely
back
holding
into
the
the
staff
inn
exactly like this,
as you're discussing this. Oh well, if I have anything to add to this conversation about the items that we have acquired over this time, it would seem prudent to me that perhaps the items that we're not sure who should go or what should go to whom, that perhaps we could have a temporary owner of such items and come to it later.
Ring of Featherfall.
Who does the most climbing, for instance? A Featherfall ring would be useful for that.
Me and Brucon are the only two that have climbed on roofs.
Anything,
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, if I use the Ring of Featherfall for now.
In the interest of balance.
Well done.
But yes, I think these are all temporary until we find Neris and then we return them.
And we
Seth.
find better items.
And I have my own blessing of Festia, so I will not be. And Malak brings out the necklace with the
You
hourglass
should have
on.
showed that when they were asking about the I don't believe you saw a god. Well, I did saw a god. No, I don't think you did. You were drinking. Well, I wasn't drinking. You should have shown them the thing.
Can you make a performance check?
6.
We do not get applause.
After a brief
You're not the DM.
awkward silence.
Seth, you find Seth, give us a. Impressions?
I think my our half-elf companion is quite astute in that observation. That item is it's rather wonderful. It's the same on both sides. I appreciate the. Anyway.
Please. Be careful.
But if I might be right in surmising that the ring of featherfalling was never Neris's. We never gave that to her. If in fact it was the doppelganger all
Gave
along,
it to double.
then that would seem to be fair game for anyone.
Oh, Mr. Seth, you'll be looking after that until we find Ms. Neris,
Yeah.
and we will be finding Ms. Neris.
Indeed.
Yes.
So cool.
Good.
Since we need to find her, we need to go.
Oh, you'll see when you get outside. And he just starts heading towards the door.
See what?
I've been outside once today. Alright, go outside.
Yeah, we go outside.
So you go outside and you see everyone's sort of packing up, ready to go. So you've got Howland, who's attending to Lainey, sort of helping her into the carriage. Gant's already inside. Rexlan is also occupied inside the carriage. Fleeting Look is currently sitting on your horse, stroking it.
That's right. If he wants to ride the horse, that's fine.
Oh, can we not go together?
Does it fit too? I don't think Horsey can manage the weight of both of us.
Oh, right.
You take Horsey. I'll take the carriage.
Okay.
Did we get the name of the bar staff lady who is now the manager?
No.
No.
Yeah.
What's the name? What's the name of the pub currently?
The Miner's Arms.
Miner's Arms.
The only one here.
It is the only pub in the village, yeah.
But
I'm just thinking.
what time is it? Because it's going to be coming to evening now. We seem to be travelling at night, sleeping in the day.
Yeah, exactly. So it's currently 6 p.m. roughly.
Fleeting. He has night. Yeah, he has dark vision. That's fine. I was going to tell him not to go too far away from us if he didn't have dark vision.
Yeah. All of you except Malar, I think, in the party have dark vision. Easy to remember.
Yeah, where are you sitting on the?
Mala will get onto the foot thing at the back.
Okay.
So
Brucon will get on the
Oh,
other one.
yeah, Brucon's there. I wanted to make sure someone had dark vision with you. If we're going to travel at night, don't want you being the only one.
The two most talkative are hanging off the back.
The two deepest are hanging
Yes.
off the back.
Oh.
Car is like the back is like
How long to the
front
next
wheels
to the
are off
next
the ground.
inn?
Horses are like,
Well, as the crow flies, if you'll excuse the pun, it should be 8 hours or so.
But we're
Let's go.
not travelling as the crow flies.
I'm saying
I'm really hoping
we're not quite as the crow flies. We're heading sort of in the general direction of the crow flies. Of course, we're heading further north, east, but
But we're sort of windy and
yeah, the path
Yeah.
itself
Let's
isn't
go.
entirely straight. So, especially as we, once we get past Hero's Landing, we're then going into the
Who's
foothills.
got the reins of the horse?
Rexland currently. I said he was inside the carrier, but no, he's on top.
Rexland, let's go.
Right. Is anyone joining me on the front here?
Go with him.
I just had a thought.
Is he-
I
is he-
can't see in the dark, so I probably shouldn't drive. I pulled it up here, but I'm not so good.
I'll take the reins.
Right. I will. Maybe it's best I go inside and maybe get somebody else who can see to sit alongside you.
Yeah, you wanna come?
Oh, I'll come up the front. This sounds fun.
Just shout if you need me. I'll be inside.
Sounds good.
Is this your charge?
Pointing to the Hogarth in the chair, tied up in the chair that you brought outside.
Oh yeah, we've got. Yes.
Is he on the chair outside the carriage?
Yes.
Someone put him in the carriage.
Nobody's put
Yeah.
him in. He's just there. You're like,
Mallow
I'm gonna go
gets
here.
off the back.
Yeah.
He grabs the stool. He kicks the legs off the stool, and then he just plonks the entire assembly, that such as it is, in, like sandwiches it in between. Who is between, I don't know, Midge's character and Lord Gant.
Just in between them.
Just
Okay.
Yeah.
no,
So he's down
make
like a
friends.
seat on top of a.
Yeah.
On
I'm
top of a
realising
seat.
how precise we need to be. It's like, and we go. It's like, cool. You start pulling away. A few minutes later, you turn around and you see in the little rearview mirror, objects may appear closer. You see the guy sitting there, still tied to the chair.
Big thank you to Retro Chronicle who just started following.
Hey.
God, we are
Hey,
popular
thank you.
tonight.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's
Enjoy
not
his.
one of my alternate accounts that I've
Also, he's also
That's
put the
great.
popcorn emoji down in the chat because watching intently. Thank you. All right. Okay. Anyway, so
Let's go.
We should give them something to watch.
here we're going to
Let's
give them something to watch.
Let's go.
You head off on your nightly travel along routes.
Heroes, it's uneventful.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Everything is totally fine. I do need to bring this out so I know where you're going next. Anyway, so the two of you up front, the two half-elven kind, sitting up front. Can you both make perception checks for me?
I'm going to try a different die because I keep on rolling terribly.
Does passive matter, please?
No, because you're actively looking, so it's not passive.
15.
Can it be passive? 2.
2.
15.
Wait, sorry. 4.
You're so busy concentrating on where the horses are going, you don't really notice much outside of your immediate viewpoint
I
on
know
the
it's been
road.
several weeks.
15.
15.
It's been a few
Okay.
weeks since we played. If I get targeted, stuff does go danger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that still happens. If you're targeted and they're within 50 feet of you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's
You can be assassinated from
From
afar.
distance.
Yeah, great. The thing that I
Without
wanted
anything
to,
going
the
on.
one thing I wanted to be useful for, it doesn't work.
Oh, is there a 60
It's
problem?
it's annoying. It's annoying.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. That's good.
No, yeah, it says 50 feet. Motherfucker.
So anyway, as you're travelling along the road, it's relatively well kept dirt trail, so it's relatively smooth riding for you for several hours. It's quite a clear night. You haven't done Druidcraft in a while, so haven't had to worry about the weather.
Yeah.
Yay! But
Well, in game terms, it was yesterday.
yeah, so yeah, you haven't had 24 hours has elapsed, but anyway, yeah, it's a clear night, but it's starting to get cold, and at this point you kind of have a moment while you're on the road to yourself, and you kind of reflect on the time of year that you're in, and although it's night, you remember that this is, well, especially in the Ranlac society, this is one of the most popular times of the year, the autumn, because you see all of the colours of the spectrum, particularly living amongst the trees. You're going to notice all of the different colours, and you then remember it's the last day of Grisetten, and the first day of Festiva is tomorrow, which is also when the ball appears to happen. You're like,
Party night.
oh, and make a little history check for me.
Drunk
Here's
frat
the
elves across the road.
check.
They're like, oh, best year!
I got a 12.
12. And you remember from some of your past parties and such like a hobnobbery that you have been attending to with events throughout your history in the Feywild and in the Ranmak itself. And if it's anything, and if Festir is what you understand to embody, it's going to be quite similar, this party, to some of the things you've experienced in the Feywild in terms of lavishness, debauchery, and the rest. And make of that what you will, but it's, you kind of think, I think I know what I'm getting myself into right now.
Yep. Cool. Been there, done that.
Alright. Anyway, continue on your travel for the next few hours. Yeah, so roughly 9 hours of travelling.
We actually just get there.
You do get there, yeah, it's fine.
If there are any rough patches, I will mould earth and make it smooth patches.
As you go. And yeah, it's relatively smooth travelling. Yeah, because of that helps. So anyway, after 9 hours or so, you arrive in Hero's Landing. Now, one of the things that catches your attention before getting, just as you're pulling up to Hero's Landing itself, is you can smell the sea air, and the coast is close at Hero's Landing. It's actually on the coast. It's on the small map. It's too small to be on the big map.
Somewhere between Rundar and...
It's somewhere between Rundar and Delvator.
One time I leave my small.
I think it's around here.
Yeah. Yep, that's about right. So it's lovely having that map there, isn't it? Just refer to it. Anyway, you smell the sea air, and for one, Seth, you feel a bit more at home than you have done in your time so far adventuring. This is the furthest to the coast. This is the closest to the coast that you've been since being with this group of reprobates. That's a joke. This group of adventurers. And yeah, you get a sort of a slight warm, fuzzy feeling, which you haven't had for a while.
Those days on the sea where everyone wasn't really weird.
Yep. And of course, the days before that in Arista with your and so on. I'm not going to say any more than that, but just there's a little bit of nostalgia creeps in. Anyway, Hero's Landing. When you pull up in the village, you see that this, unlike Oraglor, it's a bit more well established. It seems to be kept in good order. There's a contingent of guards, a couple that sort of nod to you as the carriage comes through. And in the centre of the village is a very tall flagpole, and on the top you can see the flag of the Burekin Republic itself, the blue and white chevrons with the gold mountains in the bottom corners. To greet you. And opposite to this is a wooden building. It looks somewhat weather-beaten. That one, exactly. That's the
I
flag.
am prepared. I have
You are
flags printed
so
out.
prepared.
I've got more flags printed out.
Well, speaking of flags,
That's the only one. Don't have another.
I've got all the flags printed out. No, Jack, I've only
Speaking
got
of
one.
flags,
I was
red
upselling
flag.
myself.
you, facing out to sea opposite this flagpole in the centre of the village is an aged, weather-beaten looking wooden building, and this one has a linen flag dangling above the front door, and you see there's a slight breeze that pushes it to one side, and you can see that the flag has a painting of it looks to be a cloaked figure lying inside a rowboat, looking like they're asleep.
Do I recognise that from anything I've seen on the sea?
Yeah, okay, you can, unless, I guess, if you tell this to Malar, you can make a check, otherwise you're not aware of this because you haven't got dark vision.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I can see it.
You can see it, yeah. You can make a history check if
I
you
probably
like.
wouldn't mention a flag. That's not something I'd bring up in conversation. Sorry, but
Makes sense.
like flag-wise, I've seen lots of flags. Is it something?
Yeah, in fact, because of your travels, yeah, make a history check. Yeah, you can make one as well if you like.
Cool. I rolled a 2 on the dice, so I'm guessing that's not 3 overall.
It's not something that you can.
I can try and save you with my 16.
16, unfortunately, because of where your direction of travel, you don't recognise this. If you rolled high, you might have got it. But anyway,
my history professionalism doesn't help.
basically the DC was different for you as it would be for him, essentially. But yeah, so neither of you can recognise exactly what this is, but there is a torch burning to one side. The front door is open, and you can hear sounds of folksy music just wafting out of it from inside the carriage. Yeah. Well, this will be our stop then. Gentlemen and lady, welcome to the Weary Traveller.
Cool. I'll pull up the carriage carriage outside? Is there an obvious spot for carriages to?
Yeah, in fact,
Park up?
there's one other carriage that's to one side of the inn, and you can see that there's some tacks to put horses, but there's a carriage there also, so there's enough space you could put your carriage there if you wanted to.
And the music's quite loud inside.
You gather so because you can hear it from outside.
Okay, so I don't think we'll have a problem bringing the crate inside.
Chest.
Oh, well,
Trunk.
would you like me to take care of that, Mr. Seth?
I don't know who it can turn into, but if she tries to speak from inside, they probably can't hear it inside. I don't think we should take it straight away when we know our rooms, so that we don't linger with the crate in the pub for too long.
I've got this sorted. Mr. Look, we need you to keep an eye on the chest and the statue.
Right, well, I thought I made this clear last time. I can only keep eyes on one.
Try and keep Mr. Look, keep your eyes on one thing and keep the other in your periphery, such as it is.
Wouldn't that make me boss-eyed?
No, it's
Perhaps we should. This town seems
Fleeting,
larger.
can you watch the chest? Rexland, can you watch the statue?
Of course, I mean, I could watch both if we want, but yes.
That's fine. Fleeting's got one covered.
So I'm on the statue.
You don't. No, you're on the crate.
I'm on the crate.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Feel free to sit on that one.
I'm just wondering.
in fact, why doesn't Mr. You know what? Actually, it doesn't matter.
I'm just wondering if
Yeah.
we should talk to the town guards and pop these people in a cell for the day.
I don't really want people knowing that we've got prisoners in a crate.
Oh well.
We
hang
take them
on.
out of the crate.
No.
I feel like she's quite dangerous.
The doppelganger. I agree with Mr. Seth on this. That we should leave them in there.
Stupid guard comes in, sees a kid in there, thinks
We do tell them it's a doppelganger.
not okay. Fleeting, how many things can you watch at once?
One.
People can be stupid. Let's not put our faith in people we don't know.
If I may interject, Brucon steps forward.
Perhaps if we were to let one of the captives over to the establishment, and we could perhaps, I think the nearest thing perhaps maybe more a personal problem. The doppelganger, I suppose, hasn't.
Mr. Brucon,
Yeah.
that's a fantastic idea. I'm going to escort Mr. Hogarth here across to the gendarmes, and I will see that he is taken care of. I may have a limited degree of pull being an official of the 8 here.
As they say, a bird in the hand is worth it's worth more than one that's not in your hand.
Martha's not here and she's got me scared. She's typed double fleeting.
Here comes trouble. Double fleeting.
And now I'm afraid.
Anyway, sorry.
Yes.
So Mal.
Goes in, grabs Hogarth, and the whatever. Come now, over the shoulder, and I'm going to go off and find somewhere to
Sure.
Camgar. If something looks like a police station.
Okay, so you noticed when you entered the village, you passed a couple of guards sort of stationed towards the edge of town. Those are the only ones you've seen currently, so you can head towards those. Head back that way. Within a few minutes, you arrive there. What's all this then?
Oh, greetings. I am Deacon Malar Shade Creek of the 8, of the Hammerfern Institute of the 8, indeed. I have met a god. But
Your Holiness.
I'm only but a deacon. You can, I quite enjoy. It's fine, don't worry.
What does the aid command of thee?
We have happened across a rapscallion, and I sort of throw this guy down onto the ground.
A heretic, is it?
Not quite. He attempted the murder of myself and some of my travelling compatriots.
It's not true. I didn't. It was now to do with me.
Oh, my friend, and Zone of Truth.
Charisma save, right?
Give me a charisma save, DC 14.
Nope. The guards
Are inside the bubble.
are inside the bubble. One succeeds, and they both succeed.
Okay.
So they don't have to tell the truth.
But
they
they
don't
are
want to,
aware of
but they're aware of it.
Now, friend, did you not try and have us
removed from your vicinity. Mortally.
I was ordered to do this.
See, exactly. If you could place
It
this
wasn't
man
through
into
choice.
I need
necessarily.
You. I need you in a stockade. You are an accessory to murder, my friend. Gentlemen.
I'm not there to talk. Attempted murder.
Gentlemen, are you able to facilitate this matter, or do you have a stockade, a jail?
Yes, of course we do. Yes, we can take him. In fact, if you wouldn't mind, we can.
Oh, indeed.
We'll take him to the council chambers. They'll know what to do.
Oh, I would really just...
That's where the stockade is.
Oh, fantastic. I have met more than enough councillors for my time for the last few days, so lead the way.
And they lead you away to do just that. And then as for the rest of you, because it will take a little while, so as for the rest of you...
Can we check into the inn, get 8 hours sleep?
So Gant leads you inside, with Howland sort of trailing behind him, taking some of his items. As you enter inside this inn, it's relatively quiet, other than the band that's playing in one corner. It's quite soothing, actually, this string quartet that's playing. Each table is lit by a single candle placed in the top of a blue sort of teardrop-shaped glass bottle. It's quite a welcoming sight.
Pub that I don't start a fight in.
Don't
tempt fate. On the you can see straight ahead of you is a mural on the far wall. It's now slightly faded. Looks, it's been here for a while, and it depicts a dashing-looking halfling swashbuckler standing proudly on the prow of a large ship at sea. To one side, you see behind the bar a frail, silky-haired lady hunched over, examining some cards, and she carefully sort of places them out in front of her. As she does so, she places the next card, and she looks up at you. Oh, adventurers, is it? Welcome to the Weary Traveller. Can I be of assistance at all?
I think Gantz has our reservations.
Thank you. I've got a room booked under Lord Gant Bron and one other under Councillor Tarquin Potter, who's with me. And he looks kind of shiftily over, like which one of you is Tarquin? Just looking.
That's me. Hello.
Oh, pleased to meet you. I seem to remember I met a Tarquin once. Some time ago now. Bear with me.
Pretty sure it's not me.
No, but we certainly had some merriment. Yes, I do remember. Cups. Yes.
Is your memory in the cards?
The cards tell me many things, my friend. They told me of your arrival. A group of adventurers.
Did our reservation not do that?
Yes.
No, the reservation, of course. I'm so sorry, I get so sort of fixated on my readings. Apologies. She's kind of very slow. She has a little cane, and she just kind of ambles over to the other side of the bar, shuffles over.
What race is she?
She's human. She's quite an elderly human female. Pulls out a large tome, brushes some dust off of it, slumps it onto the table, opens it up, and that's spectacles. Ambles over to the other side of the bar. It's very painfully slow, this process. Picks up some glasses, pops them on her nose, goes back. So, yes, room for Gant Bron, was it? Okay.
Yes, Mr. Bron.
And Mr. Just Tarquin Potter. Yes, sorry. Yes, that's you. Right. Okay. I have 2 rooms. Yes, we have them all. My daughter prepared the rooms. Yes.
How many beds in these rooms?
There's a double, and I think there might be a single or possibly a cot as well in each room.
I'm pretty sure, Mr. Bron, I'm booking more than 2.
Well, I wasn't expecting quite the contingent that we have, so we only booked the 2 rooms. But in the last place, that wasn't a problem.
We
because
left
of what
town
happened.
with this.
Yeah,
We've only got one more person.
It wasn't a problem in the last
No,
one.
no.
because
The
we
last
killed
one
the
we,
people using the other rooms.
the last one would have been more of a problem, but then you know what happened. So, that's quite all right. It seems we have made a bit of a mistake. In that we meant to book a few more rooms than we actually have. So,
A gesture to all the other people.
yes, exactly. Would you happen to have enough space for my compatriots? That's 8 or 9. 9. Yes, 9 of us. I'm. That card. No, that's not what that was for. That's for something else. And she looks up at Gant. Looks a bit sort of questioning of him. A little bit doubtful.
Big part of me just wants to go, it's okay, it's because he's a spy master.
9
Gives-
because
gi-
there's a person in the box.
Gives him a little shifty look, and
10 including the box.
Yeah. Gavin?
I'll have to excuse me. My daughter may know slightly more about the room situation. I'm more just minding the bar, so I'll just excuse me. And she's sort of out of the door at the back. Moments later, you see quite a short but sort of sharply dressed human female appears. This one just with kind of neatly tied up ginger hair, welcoming brown eyes, bears some semblance to the elder lady, appears. Sorry about her, as my mother is... Anyway, sorry, so you had a booking...
You have 2 rooms booked,
Yeah.
but do you have any others available?
Uh,
As well as...
It was meant to be 2 parties booked, not 2.
I see. I'm sorry for the confusion.
our mistake, but yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. We had a couple of rooms booked for our guests, the quartet over there. Who they arrived only yesterday. Actually, yes, we do still have, and she's just looking through her notes. Yes, we do still have 4 rooms available. So the 2 that you've already booked, and there's 4 more currently available.
How many beds total is that?
Okay, so there's at least 2 beds in each room. There's a double and a single bed in each room. I think there's a couple of twin rooms actually.
We only need like 3 or 4 overall
Beds.
rooms.
Yeah.
So
the 2 we've already got. Do we need 1 or 2 more?
We need 3 more rooms. We've got 2 rooms,
Yeah. So
and we need
need
9
2 more.
people.
They sleep 2, and she said there's a cot in each one.
Oh, is there 3 beds in a room?
sorry, some of them have cots as well. Some of them are twin rooms. It's a bit of a hodgepodge, but in general they have at least 2 beds in each.
When you say cot, you mean baby cot or?
Yes.
Oh, Fleeting doesn't need a bed.
Oh no, that's right.
So
yeah.
we'll be fine with 8. So we need 2 more rooms.
4 rooms total.
So 2 more
2 more
rooms.
rooms.
Okay. Right, not a problem. So for 2 more rooms, that would be 4 gold pieces just for the extra 2. Obviously, the other ones paid for. Well, you heard the lady. My room's taken care of.
Oh, and my room's taken care of.
Oh, I'm going to stab myself. I'll pay the 4 gold. I'm going to kill Candy's on this. I'll pay the 4 gold.
Oh, if you're sure that's all right, Mr. Sepher, you know, I can't speak for my lord, but I could offer a reimbursement of some kind.
No, it's fine. We get our can we get a receipt? We'll get our reimbursement when we return to the town and the council.
Oh, of course. Bear with me 1 second. Mother, could I have
We'll
the...
get a slightly larger house.
I want the 4 gold back.
Yes, yeah, please, bear. Well,
I don't want a house in that city. It's got way off property.
after a few moments, yes, she writes out a receipt and hands it over to you, along with 4 keys for the 4 rooms. So you are in rooms 3 to 6. They're all neatly along one corridor, which is convenient.
Perfect. Adjoining walls.
Exactly.
Just what we want.
Yes. So I hope you enjoy your stay. Rooms are upstairs. I can show you up to them when you're ready. But in the meantime, would you like anything to eat at all?
Yes.
Yeah, just a easy, quick meal to make. Anything you got?
Sure.
1 meal's worth of food. Whatever your specialty is in this town?
Well,
What's your
sure,
local delicacy?
Well, of course, we are a fishing village, so the catch of the day with some seasonal veg. Yeah, we can do that. Got some olives and some breads and that sort of thing.
Sounds great. I'll have some fish.
Would you like me to add that onto your bill?
Yes.
Yes. And we'll settle that later, shall we?
Yeah. Sure. We spend a bit too much time deciding what we're eating in pubs.
It does happen. It's very true, you guys.
We just say like,
I've given you too many options.
Yeah,
I just want some food.
We just like food.
Yeah.
Whatever is local is best.
Yep, no problem at all. I will get Chef right on that. Meantime, hope you enjoy your stay. And yes, sorry about Mother again. Yeah, she's has her ways.
So,
but she can get you any drinks if you'd like. She just plays off.
I'll grab a table for... Who wants to sit down? Is Gan... No, fuck Gan.
Are you saying this out loud?
No. I'll get a table that's got at least like 7 spaces.
Sure. So as you sit down, with your passive perception score, you can take in the inn around you. So yeah, you basically take a big circular table for 8 people. It's the biggest one in the pub.
That is perfect amount of numbers. There are 9 of us.
Exactly. Which is kind of in the centre of the pub. It means you can kind of scope out the place a bit better. To one side, to your left, there is the band. This is an interesting assortment. 3 halflings, all 2 with violins, 1 with a slightly larger violin. And slightly out of place is a furbolg playing the cello, standing alongside them, who just playing along, and they just kind of stop once some of you gather around the table, and the first of them steps forward. Seems to be the kind of the front man of the group. He's wearing this open shirt, like a silken shirt. He's opened it down to exposing a lot of chest hair. Kind of, you got the kind of Elvis thing about it. This cream silk shirt, and he's also got a gold jewelled medallion sort of nestled in there as well, along with several rings on his fingers. Well, it's a good evening. Good to see you all, and welcome. We are the Merry Men of Morning Hill, and hope you enjoy our music. If you enjoy, please feel free to leave us a tip here in the violin box. Your contributions really are most appreciated. Meantime, let me introduce a few members of the band. Over here on the violin aside me is this chap in the shades. We call him Sid Delicious. And give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. No, okay. And on the viola, Gung Ho Mary. Ladies and gentlemen, lovely man. And finally, the big man in the small team. It's Crass the Furbolg on the cello. Woo! Yeah, it seems we got a fan. Seems we got a fan in the house. I'm Ramsbottom Fairweather, and we are the Merry Men of Morninghill. Thank you for your patronage.
Sid Delicious.
Sid Delicious, yes, it's one of the band. And yeah, they jump off into another tune.
Has the food come yet?
Not yet, no.
Has Malar come back to the...
Yes, within a few minutes. So they have agreed to put Hogarth in the cell, and basically they've assured you that whilst the counsellor is currently in bed, because obviously it's about 2 a.m. now, that they'll ensure he is seen to and given the proper justice.
I'm going to... The food's not here yet. I'm going to leave, go and grab Fleeting and Rexland, because they're still watching stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Can they give me a hand taking down the crate? So now that we've got the room, just want to get the crate to our
sorry, before we get into that, just had in the chat, Moo1 said, where are you staying? Faulty Towers?
Yes.
That's pretty fair. I'm sorry, so get back to the carriage.
So I'm going to get Fleeting and Rexland. They're at the carriage still watching everything.
They're watching the things?
Yeah, get them to help me with the crate, carrying it up to...
Mm-hmm.
Us three will take a room. Carry it to our room.
Okay, no problem at all. They'll help you up with it.
Yeah, so if we carry that out to the room, I'm going to stay in the room with the crate and tell them to go downstairs because the food will be coming soon.
And Fleeting kind of looks up and goes, Is there any cabbage at all?
Maybe. I didn't ask when we went. You can check at the bar.
Okay. All right. And he gets down and
I'm gonna
Rex
stay.
lines like.
I'm gonna. I'll say to the others. Tell them I'm staying with the crate. So I'm staying to watch.
I
the
Which one?
I intercept you actually outside of the carriage. Mr. Surf, do you need a hand here, or do you have this?
Us three will take a room. We've got rooms. There's 4 rooms.
Have we got room assignments yet?
Not yet, but me, Rex, Lan,
Shotgun Leobrin, he's quite sleepy.
keep his.
Just walks off, just ignores that and stomps off to get some food.
Keep Leo's name down. He's not Leo. We're gonna take. Us three will take the crate up. I'm gonna stay in the room, sitting on the crate, hand on the sword.
Okay.
I'm very paranoid.
Not a
about
euphemism.
escaping.
Yep.
Here's the music we can hear, the actual music we can play.
It's a bit more jovial now. If they've
Yeah.
they've ramped it up a bit, I hope you get some
The Oberon
tips.
will put 10 copper in their case.
And you can see they've got a few in there already, but yes, yours is a welcome contribution, and Ramsbottom just kind of winks over at you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, lad. Carries on.
Yeah, right.
As you come back over to the table, now you're facing the other way, you can see on the other side, in a corner away from the bar, one more table with 2 patrons on it that catch your eye. The one that's facing you is, he looks to be a sailor of sorts, wearing a sort of a red bandana over his hair. He's also wearing a navy blue vest, and has these, what's most imposing, these quite big arms he's got, covered in like naval style tattoos, and he's kind of leaning over this table that's got a green felt top over it. And there's one more sitting with his back to you, a dwarf, who's kind of got his head in his hands, and there's something familiar about this dwarf that you can hear just on the other side of the bar. Can you make a perception check for me?
Things that I'm not good at.
Oh no!
Rolling.
That's fine. Oh, well, I'll do. I'll take it. Yes, rolling. That is a 16.
16. Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Because it wasn't in the tower.
I know. It is the tower. I'm really sad.
You suddenly remember the whole. I think it's part of it is joining the dots with the naval theme. It reminds you of the tavern in Halfrage, and the dwarf sitting in the back to you, also very familiar. You recognise it's a familial relation of Brucon.
I was also going to ask this navy outfit and red cloth. Is that the same navy and red as Seth?
Oh, good question. Okay, I'll say we'll use the same perception check. Not that you recognise, no.
Okay. It's not like a...
It doesn't seem to be. I mean, it seems to be some kind of uniform, but it doesn't seem to be similar to Seth from what you've seen him wearing. Colours maybe, but then there's a lot of blue in the navy, funnily enough.
Sorry,
Navy and red.
to ask.
Yeah.
When we saw the halfling swashbuckler mural and stuff, going back to the time in Halfrage, could I have done a look for pirate code rounds?
Oh,
Because that worked out so well last time.
I mistook what he said.
yeah, you can do so. Just around the mural. Yeah, go for it. So that would be
Mural and general area.
okay. Perception check. This is a retrospective perception check.
Roll for shit. No, it's like 6.
Okay.
Can't roll for shit.
Not anything that you notice, no. Some similarities though with this dashing swashbuckler. You sense there's maybe a theme with what you're seeing here and what you saw in Halfrage, but you don't draw any conclusions.
Alright.
Anyway, yeah, it seems to be what looks to be a dwarf with kind of chestnut brown hair, quite short, and also looks to be like expensively dressed, but it's looking a bit sort of shabby and worn, and that hasn't been washed in a while. You recognise this instantly with your own kind of neuroses about cleanliness, that he's not particularly clean.
Yeah. I also remember that Brucon doesn't seem to enjoy his relatives being everywhere.
Yes, and you can just hear from the other side. Oh, bloody hell! Oh.
If I look over, has he noticed this person or?
Brucon?
Yeah.
No, Brucon hasn't paid any attention yet.
The bloody hell from the other dwarf.
Yes.
Right.
From one of the table. From the other table.
I will head over to Brucon. So, and
as you do so, the food starts arriving.
Mr. Ree.
Yes, Mr. Liobrin, how can I be of assistance?
I don't. I hope it's not too forward, but I believe there may be another one of your Rumbleguts associates.
If my eyes don't deceive me, Brucon, is that you?
So bad I'm upstairs.
He rolled a natural 20 on his perception. So Brucon's still looking at you. He hears this, and you just see his demeanour change. Like, oh God, no! Just dread washes over him. Rudy, hello. How have you been? Oh, excuse me. I'll be right back. Uncle, I have a bit of a problem. I was wondering if maybe you could kind of help me out. You know, you and your friends here. I recognise you from the.
Not there.
Not you, but recognise you from the from Half-Rage, right?
Sat down, is eating. He's got an apple in his trunk. He's just putting it. He's just.
Yes, you, the Elephant Man.
Loxodon.
Yes, that's right. Shade Creek, yes.
Yes.
I remember, yes. Sorry, yeah, so, Brucon, I've got a bit of a problem. So, the man over there, sailor type, he's a sort that likes to play cards, and you know how I can't resist a flutter. So, I'm kind of in debt to him. I'm not in a good place. I'm a bit of a hole. I don't suppose you would mind. You could bail me out at all, you know, as a relative. Help out your family. That would be most useful.
Well, Rudy, look, I'm. This isn't my responsibility to attend to your every whim.
What is it? How much is it exactly? It's 30 gold pieces in total.
Drink in this intermission.
Let's have a little drink.
Well,
Bear with me. Well, yes, my nephew. Would you perhaps this is something we should maybe look into. I know my nephew is not the most wise person in the world when it comes to funds, but then he's never known poverty or a life of, well, a life other than luxury. I don't suppose you would. Maybe this is something we could go check out.
Oh, Mr. Brucon, there is a liturgy that I heard once in the Hammerfern Institute that basically went along the lines of if you keep bailing somebody out of their problems, they'll never learn the lesson of their ways.
I was expecting something like your problem, your shit. I was expecting something much less nice.
It's a wise analogy, yes.
Is this not maybe applicable here with your cousin?
Perhaps I'm inclined to agree with you, Master Loxodon.
Also, if he has never known poverty, how is he 30 gold away from it?
Probably because he's away from family. This is probably the longest he's been away from the Rumbleguts clan, so... yes. In fact,
How big is
I think we've got a bigger question, actually, that I haven't yet... Rudy, what are you doing here? Well, after you and your band left, I couldn't find you in Half-Rage. Anyway, it happens there was this band that was passing through. Apparently they're going to some party in tomorrow, I think. Anyway, they needed somebody to lug around their gear, and I thought, well, I could do with the coin, be an entrepreneurial sort, as I know you once used to be, Brucon. And so they employed me. I'm their roadie. I'm Rudy the roadie.
Oh my god, did you do this all for a pun?
It happened by accident. But yes.
I don't know, man. This feels like a long fucking walk.
I feel like I would do that. I would do the effort
That's
for one
commitment.
Yeah.
But please, I don't want to let the side down and.
Oh wait, this band, they are to be paying you for goods and services.
That's right. Yes.
To what effect? How much?
Oh, well, they pay me a gold piece a day.
Well,
Plus, they give me free food and lodging.
by the sounds of things, you've got 30 days in which you can pay this good gentleman back.
Yes, but we're due to go to Rachfell Manor tomorrow, and this fella won't let me leave without paying him back.
Oh, shit.
I mean, have you seen him? Have you seen the arms on him?
I'm glad I'm
Bloody
free.
hell.
I'm not even there.
You're not even there.
Oh, Mr. Rudy,
And you're walking around with absolutely no money on you.
I've spent most of it. I've had a few too many parties, you know. So.
Round it up. Kill it. Not Rudy.
Mr.
Let's get
Brufon,
long rest. Let's go to the party.
how would you feel about, I mean, does this one pay his debts back?
Rudy?
Yes.
Well, in fairness, no, he never has, and he never will.
Oh, then I think this is very much. I'm gonna recall the liturgy that I was in attendance of, and he really needs to,
There are lessons that need to be learned. Yes, yes. You know, failure is a great teacher, and so are mistakes, Rudy. I'm afraid I can't help you this time. You'll have to figure this out on your own. And Rudy just looks very kind of shocked, but then you see kind of tears. He starts to well up a little bit, kind of realizing what mistakes he's made now in his life, regretting his life choices.
Mr. Rudy, sir.
Yes.
That gentleman is reasonably far away now. How fast can you run?
I wish I was there.
He looks down at his little legs. Nah, not fast enough.
What race is going to go?
Human.
You know what? I don't really advocate doing this often. Here's a silver piece, and maybe you go and try and win your winnings back. And I slap guidance on him and push him in the direction of the other guy.
Send him further down.
Thank you, Master Shade Creek. He heads back over to the table.
Right. Can I do something fleeting?
Yeah, fleeting's there, so yeah, go ahead.
Fleeting. Can he just go? What are you playing?
Oh, it's a three-legged donkey.
Is that a dice game?
No, card game.
You playing dice later?
With your 1 silver.
You might have a little back.
I don't know if he's got dice, but
Let's play dice! And he'll come over and he'll go to join.
Okay.
You monster.
Oh no.
You can't
Choices.
gamble on somebody's money if they're not here, man.
He has
No, he has the magic dice.
Yes, that's true.
Oh!
However, I'm going to say then that what Fleeting does is he goes, wait here a moment, and he dashes upstairs. Seth. He's knocking on the door. Seth.
Is it the right door?
Yes, the correct door. He helped you with the case, so he knows where you are. Yeah.
I was like, what's wrong? What's happened?
So I have a gift, and I need you to make sure I use it well. Also, you're quite rich. Would you mind?
What?
Can you come with me?
There's no one to watch the crate.
It's okay. I'll get Rexland to do it.
Send him up first. I don't like leaving the crate unattended.
Yeah. All right. And he heads down. Moments later, Rexland comes up, looking quite confused. What is all this about?
People are just running
Sorry, Mr. Fleeting was speaking far too quickly. What's happening?
He needs me for something. Do you mind watching the crate?
Right, with the doppelganger. Okay, right, yes, of course.
Thank you. Don't do anything that they say.
You mean...
In the crate, yes.
Or him, Fleeting.
Fleeting, 50-50, judgment call. The crate, just don't Don't do anything to the crate.
Very, very wise, Mr. Seth. Of course. And he goes and sits on the chest
So
with his full plate armor.
So why have you come and got me fleeting?
So I have a dice that I do cool things with, and as I haven't done it in front of anyone yet, I wanted you to be first to see.
What does the dice do?
Best friends.
What does it do?
Okay, well, give me a number.
7.
Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Give me a number between 1 and 6. 6. All right. Watch this. And he just rolls the dice on the floor and casts his hand over, and it rolls onto a 6.
1.
It's 1.
Oh, that actually is. How did you do that? I should have asked.
Magic.
Okay, so what? It's a great check. Did you need me for anything?
Yes, money.
You have money.
Not enough.
How much do you need?
I'm not sure, but I know that you're rich, and you know
No,
we're best friends. So I thought we could do this together, like a kind of bonding thing.
I think I have the least money in the party.
But you also have dealt with well, he looks like one of your kind of guys. You know, like
Half elf.
piratey.
It was also your idea, so it's your money.
He's got he's got a bandana rather than a.
I was hoping it would just be done off camera.
Well, you see, your hat may be too big,
The man not updated is.
but it's a better hat than what he's got. So
I don't have a hat.
you can out hat him. The oversized hat. You
I
not?
didn't know.
Oh, you didn't take it. You could take his hat.
I don't know why I'm arguing. Let's just go.
He like grabs you by the hand and takes you downstairs
Go.
towards the table. The rest of you having your dinner and stuff. Do you want to have any drinks or do anything else while this goes on?
I'm just gonna point out that guidance has probably dropped on Rudy by now, by the way. So
You're gonna go back over and give it to him again.
Nope.
Okay.
Gonna keep eating and maybe just make idle chit chat with Leo.
So we'll get a drink and rotate our chairs so that we can see the gambling table.
We're just here, like kind of eating, just.
At the bar, the elderly ladies. Can I get you any drinks, anything at all?
No, water, please, miss.
Call me Morag.
No, thank you.
Wine, Morag, please.
Yes. Okay. What? We have 2 wines on offer. One is.
I'll have one of them.
Okay. And she says, I'll add it to the bill. And brings over, very slowly brings over like kind of like Acorn Antique style, the tray, like rustling tray over to the table with some wine on it and a few glasses, goblet, pops it down for you.
One,
The water.
A pitcher, if you would.
Bear with me. Anyway, she'll do that. In the meantime,
I was hoping this would just be fleeting goes and comes back with lots of money for himself off camera. So yeah, we've gone to the table. What's there? Who's there?
so there is, as I described before, the sailor sitting at the table, quite large, quite stocky, very wide armed. He's got the guns on show. With
He's not
his
drinking a
vest.
pipe, smoking a pipe and got a squint, is he?
No, no pipe or squint. Just locks of sandy hair tucked beneath the red bandana. And he just Rudy, I told you that 1 silver piece will not be enough to challenge me.
Well, that silver's coming back then.
Oh, I see we have newcomers to the table. Francis Seaberg. Do I know you at all?
Can I do a history check? Do I know that name?
You can do a history check.
I forget words.
Yeah,
Natural one.
You're just so overcome with the bandana, like, it's just such a basic hat. I mean, why? And you completely forget.
I just go, Seth.
Right, and who's your friend?
This is fleeting.
Fleeting look. Seaberg. As in seabird, right? No. Oh. As you were. Right, so would you be interested in playing a little game of three-legged donkey?
That's not a dice game, is it?
It's a card game.
Afraid we're kind of a dice players, really. Don't usually play the cards.
Right.
That's easier to play when you're at sea. Much easier and much better luck to the gods with the ebb and flow of the sea.
He's a sailor.
I know, and sailors play dice games. I actually looked at them. And I watched Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, we'll try our best not to rock the boat too much, I suppose. And speaking of rocking the boat, I was more interested in playing the cards. But do you have more dice about your person?
How many do you need for a game? What is a dice game?
You play a classic.
Oh, you have entered yourself into something you.
If you want to play a game of Fool's Bluff, you're going to need 12 dice. 12 d6.
No, I wanted to con like a gold.
I don't want to play a dice game that uses one dice. That's not a game.
I want to roll at least two.
Yeah, there are 2 dice games, but normally it's like rolling everything but 7. Or rolling 7.
Hang on.
I've lost interest in this.
Are you the... Oh, I see. You're here for the dwarf, are you?
Who?
Mr. Rumbleguts here.
No, Mr. Rumbleguts is over there.
Oh? There's another Rumbleguts, is there? Yes, that'll be my cousin. Sorry, my uncle.
I look at him like, oh shit, it's him.
And there's an awkward, like the band keeps playing, and just like, what do we say now? Brucon like kind of flinches at the table, like, God, I just heard my name again, didn't I?
It's Mr. Seth is going to. I'm sure he's going to alleviate the situation.
Probably by stabbing, I would have thought.
Well, play to your
Is that an
strengths.
option?
No, that's what Brucon says. I surmise that, given our previous experience, there's Mr. Seth likes to rapier first and ask questions later.
We've always got to give him a chance to
Rapier
not.
first.
Yeah.
Why I haven't intervened yet. Anyway, so Rudy Rumbleguts is looking to get back his debt, is he? Well, I suppose you can always win it back.
In what?
Well, three-legged donkey, of course.
How does it work?
So, you have 3 cards. You make the best hand you can with those 3 cards. 3 of a kind is one of the best hands you can have. 3 threes is the very best aside from the joker. If you have a joker and a pair, that'd be a donkey. If you have 2 jokers, as there's 2 in the pack, that'll be a 3-legged donkey.
What, James? What have you learned?
Don't try and get fleeting money off camera. Don't try.
Of course, if the card game be too much of a intellectual conundrum for you, we can always settle things the old-fashioned way.
What's that?
1-on-1 fisticuffs.
Well, that escalated quick.
Yeah.
You know how's we likes a good fight.
Can you do sneak attack damage with a punch?
You can.
If you
I
get
can.
advantage,
Can
You
you
swashbuckler.
No, you
Yeah,
need
but no, can you do sneak attack damage?
you need a
Because you
finesse
can.
weapon.
Because you.
Finesse weapon.
I think you need.
I think it's a. Oh no, that you can't with unarmed because it has to be a dexterity-based attack, doesn't it? It has to be a light weapon
Yep.
or finesse weapon. Marta says, "Do it."
This is
Fisticuffs.
gonna be
No,
good.
this is the monk shit. Let him do all his fanny
Yeah,
problems.
so what? Yeah, but you walked into it, you monk.
No, I sent Fleeting there to win some money off
Seth.
camera.
I could take care of this. Fleeting's looking at you like,
Must be finesse or ranged.
Yeah, I don't do unarmed. It's like, I'd be fine to do this if you want to use swords.
"Oh, you don't have any intention of dying tonight, Master Seth."
They don't want to fight me then.
"I have no intention of killing tonight either."
Does Fleeting want to do the fisticuffs then?
But he's looking at you like he's ready to do it. If you're prepared to
Assuming from our
do it
distance,
for,
we can just see body
Yeah,
language.
you can do it.
Yeah.
I need to check some Divine Smite rules.
Does it?
You
does
going
it
on
look
D&D
like
Beyond or
This gonna
Yeah.
play cards anytime
on
soon?
Fleeting's profile?
Yeah, I'm just looking at Divine
I'm
Smite.
not
Because it's
entirely
Fleeting's,
sure
I'll close it
still,
on
and
here.
it's,
Melee weapon attack, so he can't.
There's a lot of
You
talking
can't use
and not a
Divine
lot of
Smite
playing happening right
And
now.
he's got shit strength, so I'm going to say no for him.
Listen,
All right.
He'll get
Fleeting,
fucked
he's
up.
getting involved.
Okay.
No,
This is awfully interesting.
we don't.
What's Rudy doing?
We don't care about this guy,
Oh.
and your game doesn't seem too interesting, so we'll leave you to it.
Were you trying to smite with fists?
Yeah.
I think you can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I?
it's
can
a
I
melee
smite
weapon
with this?
attack.
I'm gonna say for the I'm gonna say from the sounds of it, melee weapon attacks, unarmed strike. Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah.
Oh, then
If
sure.
it's-
Fleeting's up for it then.
Yeah. If it's melee attack with a weapon, no. If it's melee
Fleeting
weapon
is
attack,
up for it then.
technically, a weapon attack is not a spell attack.
Yeah.
God punch.
Fleeting's like, I've got this. Oh, wait, what did we get every win?
Wait, is he like, I've got this?
Well,
Like, we.
let us. Oh, all right then. Here be the rules. First of all, no punching around the face or in the gentleman's area.
Okay.
That's a given. Second of all, if you win, you get to take the 30 gold pieces and write off the debt of Mr. Rumbleguts here. If I win, however, I get to take anything up to the value of 30 gold pieces from your possessions.
Okay.
Wait, hang on, who's he saying that to? Is that to Seth or to Fleeting?
Fleeting.
Okay.
You're like, yep, it's not my character, it's fine. Dan, if you're watching, I'm sorry.
Dan, if you're watching, this is all James's idea.
Yep. It's escalated from off-camera. I just wanted Fleeting to come back to be like, I'll go see what they're doing, and just come back with a small bag of gold. I just wanted.
It's D&D, what
I
do you
just wanted a
expect?
joke.
You can't send someone else's character off to do something.
I just wanted. I just thought in fleeting
I mean,
fashion.
certain things I'm sure are fine, but in this instance, this is
saw,
quite interesting.
In fleeting fashion, I just saw him going, I'll go see what's happening, and come back with a bag of gold. And then he opens it, and it's a bag of copper. I just saw it going in fleeting fashion. But sure, fleeting will fuck this guy up.
Of course, you know, you can buy in and play cards, only 5 silver pieces.
No, fleeting's happy.
Alright. Right, lads!
You know,
Claps his
be
hands.
Good at this.
The band stopped playing.
cards. Be Malar. Inside the check the shit out of that guy while they're playing.
I was gonna wait till they did a round then,
Cool.
like inside check that.
That's
see if he
really-
was cheating or something.
That's clever, yeah.
Before the fight, like just before the fight starts, Fleeting wants to use his vow of enmity on the guy he's fighting.
Alright.
So he's going to be using that just before the fight starts.
Is that a verbal
Nope,
component?
it's
or-
just a paladin thing. Yep, just a thing, just
Alright.
happens.
Not,
It's his channel
not a
of divinity.
spell.
Not a
It's his
spell.
channel of divinity, it's not a
Yeah,
spell.
yeah. So, okay, ready. Yeah,
So we
go
have to
for it.
present symbol
So roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative. Let's go.
and they're doing this inside the bar.
They're doing this in the bar. They've cleared a space.
Cool.
Oh, Malar will walk over and he's got like an armful of food. Like he's got apples and bread and he's just munching and spectating.
What did you get?
19.
I'll try not to look too smug.
Natural 20?
Yeah.
Shit.
Nice.
Oh, well, sorry, not natural 20, but non-natural 20.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So you see, you see him start limbering up, just doing a few stretches. Francis clicks his knuckles together and sort of starts like 1920s style.
Pugilism.
Yes, exactly. Pugilism. Just like,
What her rapscallion?
so, you blackguard! Anyway, it starts advancing towards you and takes a swing at you with the left hook.
He's got a hook now.
Inspiration, if you will.
Pirate jokes.
Pirate jokes. It was nautical. 14 misses, I'm going to say, yeah?
Yep, misses.
Okay, second attack. Take another swing, this time with the right, with an uppercut. That's worse. Misses. But as a bonus action, because Tavern Brawler Oh no, he has to hit. Doesn't matter. Takes 2 swings, misses. Go.
Go. Fleeting's go. Since he's used Add Your Enemy, he's got
The Vow Enmity, Add Your Enmity, yeah.
He's got advantage on his attacks. So that is a 20 to hit.
20 hits.
So he's going to use a first level Divine Smite on that.
Should we there's probably no point mapping this actually, I think. This is quite nice.
This is a one-on-one.
Yeah.
So
it's
2 damage plus.
I'm fighting you. No, I'm fighting you.
So he takes 16 damage.
Holy moly! Nice, 16 damage. Was that smiting there, or was that just the Vow Enmity stuff with this?
No, the Vow Enmity just gives advantage on the attack.
Okay, cool.
So Fleeting just goes up, punches him once in the gut, and just lets his hand rest there for a sec, then pulls back, and just kind of stands there, looking quite pleased with himself. So, for 2-weapon fighting, you can't do that punching, can you?
Sorry?
2-weapon fighting, you can't do that for both hands free. Can't punch 1, punch 2. Technically the same if you got like a weapon in each hand.
No, not with unarmed straights now. I'm going to say. So, 16 damage, nice. Alright.
Still standing?
He's still up, yeah. Yes, I can do this all day. And goes for another swing. This time with the left. He sort of makes a feint with the right jab and then comes in with the left. Natural 1, brilliant. Swings and punches into Fleeting Look's sort of chainmail and gets his like finger kind of caught in there for a second. Like, and he takes a point of damage just from like cutting his finger on the mail.
Fleeting's kind of just standing there quite still going, "Are you okay?"
You okay, buddy? No. Makes a second attack. Alright, this time 23.
That hits.
23 hits. Alright. So it's a D4. So he does 5 points of bludgeoning damage, and as a bonus action, he is going to shove Fleeting Look at the bar.
I can't change Fleeting stats because it's not my character anymore. But,
I can do that.
Shall we can just.
Oh no, just for the thing. But he is going to point at him, and as he gets hit, he's going to go pew, and he just uses his hellish rebuke.
Okay.
So the guy bursts into flames. I don't think there's a save on it. Make a dexterity save.
14.
That is the save. So that's
out.
So he makes the save.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he makes it. So that's half 3d10.
Jesus.
9
This
and
is
10.
outside the remit of fist fight.
Yeah.
And another 10.
Tieflings, you know.
So that is 29 damage halved.
Okay, so that is 14 points of damage then. And he looks rather singed.
He's burst into flames.
Yeah. And it's just there. It's not. It doesn't do persistent fire damage, does it? I don't think so.
No.
So okay.
It's you hit me, I hit you back.
He's like, oh, you bastard! I said this was your fist fight.
I did. Fist.
Bonus action. This is going to be a grapple check against you, so he's going to try and shove. So you need to make an athletics or acrobatics check to try and avoid the grapple.
18.
Yeah, he goes to shove, nimbly moves to one side. He goes, "You have no honor, my friend."
I only used one finger of my fist.
It's a fist fight, no magic allowed.
You didn't say that.
I said it were a fist fight.
And I'm using a fist.
This is fleeting, so make a persuasion check.
That's an 18 plus 4. 22.
Damn paladins. And you see like this just enraged look on Francis's face just kind of subside. And he just stands there, look, just like with a tooth that's just like he spits out and just blood coming down his face. Good lad! Go and then here's your 30 gold back.
I don't get to punch him again.
Nope. He's ending the combat there.
I mean, you could, but it's really dishonourable.
Did
He's already been quite
did
dishonourable.
Fleeting Look just incinerate that man for money?
No, yeah, he did. I've never seen him do that before. That's odd.
This is a weird town.
I think have you met Mr. Fleeting?
I mean, yes, I can understand the fleeting setting fire to people. I can't understand people then paying him for the privilege.
Oh,
So
there
Fleeting's going to take the money and just go, thank you.
You're welcome, lad. A fine fighter indeed, and fighting dirty. I won't suppose you've been to class in recent times, have you?
Nope.
Well, you'd fit in there. You'd fit in there right good and proper. Thank you, my friend. Meanwhile, on the other side of the tavern, the band's like, so after that little interlude, it's the it's the merry man of Morning Ale, ready to brighten up your early morning as we're now getting on to 3 a.m. Anyway, back to the music.
I missed that.
He did indeed.
Hang on. What time of day is it?
3 a.m.
Been travelling. We set off at what time in the?
I thought we were
Apparently
sleeping
6
during.
PM.
Are we sleeping at night again now?
So it's 3 a.m. So now you would,
It's a 9
if you need to sleep again,
We've been travelling for
then you
like,
can travel and then you'll get there. For
it's
the
because
right
we're sort of we're not doing like 12 hours this, 12 hours that.
Okay.
It's like 9 hours travel, 8 hours sleep. That we're slowly working our way around the clock.
It's essentially you're alternating with the horses, but also trying to get there for the ball.
Okay.
Can I just as we sort of move away from this fracas and go to sit back down? Mr. Leobrin, it occurs to me that I'm rude and I'm not entirely familiar with your background. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Loranlas, I believe. Over this way.
Oh,
good
yes,
fun.
it's the. I'm somewhat of the other side of things. I'm from Isk. So, what's Loranlas like?
It's beautiful, really. Lots of trees and green things and parties and.
Oh, that sounds really awful pleasant.
How did you come to be in the Republic?
I had to go. I had to go. Adventure and hero.
Can I insight check this?
Yeah,
Can we also start to come back to the table now that we've
you can. Yeah, you can.
solved Rudy's problem?
I'm assuming I'm rolling some kind of deception on
It's
this.
gonna be 15.
15.
So yeah.
That is a 9.
Okay, so
10, 11. It's 11.
So in which case,
Stephen Fleeting, sit down at the table.
so you discern from what from what Leobrin's saying that he is essentially trying to dodge the question, but he doesn't want to talk about it. That much is clear from the insight check.
Oh, well, Mr. Leobrin, I didn't mean to pry. I'm just merely curious. I
am here to do heroic deeds and good things and save people.
What are you guys talking about?
I'm
What?
just unfamiliar with Mr. Leobrin's history.
So you've come to be a hero.
Yes.
Noble.
That's very notable.
That was one of the first things you said when we were at the Half Rage Inn. It's a fleeting.
Okay. Lost track.
It is one of the best things.
I remember. Yes, you said we said about the cave-in.
Yes.
Yes.
And a very heroic offer, which has gone downhill for you since.
I'm hoping it will go up again.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I personally am quite grateful that we now have.
We found the lady.
Wait,
Yeah.
hang on. What? Is anybody outside keeping an eye on Ms. Helene Grenforth? Oh!
Mallow gets out and goes outside, checks on the carriage.
Yeah. Okay. So you got. You're gonna light up a torch because it's dark.
Is there a
There's a torch outside, yeah.
Is there a torch in a sconce?
I will-
I can
Yeah.
just grab.
I'll
do
follow Malor outside.
Yes. So the statue's still there. It seems to not to have drawn any attention, especially at this witching hour. You know, nobody's paid any attention to it. Still on top of the carriage. Still underneath the chains. All there. All good.
You want to stay out there with the thing, don't you?
I want to bring it back in.
That's going to draw more suspicion.
Well, perhaps this is this is Brucon.
You-
Hello. So sidles up to you. Well, I think in the point of fairness that maybe perhaps we could cover up the the statue with a cloth of some variety, and I wouldn't draw any attention to it. It's just a carriage.
I do, and I take off my backpack, and I do actually have a blanket that I can, since we're sleeping in beds tonight, Mal will get up and really try and just cover.
We're in a busy town, no one's going to steal a
Actually,
statue.
if we, in order to be prudent, if we wanted to have something else to cover our backs, it's still Brucon. Perhaps we could. I have a friend that could keep an eye. Nibbles. Yes. Would you mind if we were to put you in the vicinity of a statue that we have? Would you mind keeping an eye for us overnight while we rest? Well, that's everything I can do to be useful.
And you can do that talking in people's heads thing.
Yes,
If something goes wrong.
that's right. I mean, you have to be within a certain distance, but if you're in the rooms that I don't know, he kind of issues up with his nose. When the room's overlooking, then we'll be fine.
There we go. I honestly thought Brucon was going to suggest Rudy, and I was a little bit nervous.
Yeah, so actually.
I wouldn't in a million years.
Good. Neither would I.
So, is that settled? Should we do that? Put him
let's
on the
do
top
that.
there?
Let's go to sleep
Very
and
well.
get on the road in the morning to get to this party so we can get back to somewhere better.
Agreed. I will retire. I am most full now and require. Mr. Leobrin, which is our room?
Our room?
I assume that with just usual sleeping arrangements.
I would request that we put a room between us and Mr. Seth, but other than that, sure we can share.
Why?
Because every time I've been in a room next to your character, there has been noises in the night.
Well, you see, perhaps I could be the sort of midpoint in the group. I would normally share the room with Neris, I suppose, but
Oh, you're with cats.
No, you can share with Mr.
Howland and Laney.
Sword Claws. Sword
No, he's with me.
Rex. Oh. Okay.
I've got him and Fleeting in my room.
Oh.
well, I guess that leaves
Gant.
Gant, and Gant has a room with
You.
Ron, Laney, so.
with Howland and Laney.
Oh, they all in the same
I
room.
believe so.
Oh, then you've got a room to yourself. You can take Fleeting or Rex then if you want.
Oh no, that's quite alright. Maybe I'll make sure Rudy gets a room. And he just
You can.
begrudgingly kind of hangs his head.
You can have the room with fake Neris.
No, she's in my room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She's in the box. We have three
Okay.
people rotating watch in there.
Nice. Cool.
Right.
Free room.
And so you sort of head on inside.
If only I'd known there was a free room.
You'd be sharing it with Rudy.
And you see him sort of fetches up Rudy, who's now sitting at the bar and is chatting away with Morag, the lady, the barkeep, elderly lady, and she, well, I could perhaps do a reading for you, Mr. Rumbleguts, if that would be something that would interest you. No, come on, Rudy, let's go. And grabs him and takes him upstairs. And the rest of it, have a good night, morning, whatever time you would call it.
You know what? Well, before we leave Morag, at some point during the time with her around on her cards, I'd like to detect magic.
All right.
On her.
Okay, we'll come
cards.
back to that. We'll do that. So we'll get everyone settled in to bed then. So you all head upstairs to your various rooms. As you head up, Seth, you all see Howland sort of standing outside the room that you gather would be the one that Gant's in. Mr. Seth, we were alternating shifts at the last place. Do you need my assistance again?
No, I'll be alternating with Fleet and Rexland for tonight's one, so you get a full night's sleep.
All right. Well, as you wish. Thank you. I'll see you. I'll see you at light then.
See you in the morning.
Yes. And he sort of
nods and continues his post outside the room. The rest of you doing anything else, or you just want to settle in? Go to
Just gonna
sleep?
go to bed.
So you sort out your shifts with
Rexan and Fleeting.
Rexan
so
and Fleeting.
You just take like a 2 to 3 hour shift each.
I'd say with the amount of time you'll be sleeping, that'll probably be fine. So yeah, and yes, as part of the evening, at some point you can. Do you want to do that first, or do you want to go to sleep for a bit?
I think before going to bed,
Sounds good.
I'll just while we're in the pub, generally at some point, I was like, actually, I should check those cards whether she's just dotty.
Never turn off the text magic.
I have no concentration effects needed.
Every 9 minutes and 59 seconds, you turn on the text magic.
So she's so she just has a few cards in front of her, but she's attending to the bar. Can I help you at all? Another wine, perhaps?
Sure, I'll have one more wine. Would not hurt. No, thank you. I was just interested in your cards.
And you see her face just lights up at this. Well, you know. Well, in that case, I'll tell you what. I'll included with the price of the wine, I will give you a free.
The music is really.
I'll give you a free reading if you like.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes, it's the least I can do. I sensed you were coming, and I have my ways of predicting what has been, what is now, and what shall be in the future. If it would be of interest to you.
Certainly.
I'll just get the wine. Several minutes later, she comes back with the wine. Hands it over.
I have to get off my tits first.
I'm gonna be the only person that's not had a long rest.
So, she hands over the wine, and she scoops up the entire deck of cards, starts shuffling them in her hands, just like this.
Do they? No.
Doing detect magic.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a faint aura around them, but not a magic school that you can detect.
But they are
some
magic.
kind of essence there, but you're not sure what.
Gives off a legendary vibe, like the deck of many things.
I've only been on the DM side of those.
Lucky you.
Hey, you had a fun time.
Pass your hand over the cards, Mr. Leo.
Okay. Is there any extra magic appearing as I do this?
So as you trace your hand over, the kind of faint aura seems to kind of then move towards your hand, almost like a magnet moves over to your hand as you wave it over, and then as you pull your hand away, it just goes back to its previous position around the cards.
Real magic.
Trembling hand picks up the first card. Oh, a club. One of clubs. It appears a fight is on your hands in the future.
Oh, that's the future. Okay, because I was going
I
to say
believe
I've had a few in the
so.
past
It
already.
could be a fight that has already happened. I cannot tell.
That's her thing.
Next card. The next card may make it clearer, Mr. Leobrun.
Oh, hopefully that would be good to know whether I was about to be beaten up or not.
Oh dear. 10 wands. Much magic. There lies.
Is that future or past again?
Present.
Brett?
This seems to embody you. Magic is a strong part of who you are, who you have been, and who you shall be. And that is obvious. One more.
Good.
Carefully places one more card. 10 swords. 10 fights. 10 deaths. There is much
What?
to come in your future.
Okay, so the clubs from past,
Yes.
or it's, okay, so it's not
It would
11
seem that the
fights.
size of the fight that you had in the past is nothing compared to what you shall have in your future.
You said 10 deaths. Are they shared out among people?
It is unclear as to
Would it be all
whether
five
it is
reincarnations?
it is unclear as to whether it is just 10 battles or 10 deaths. It is Certainly there is a presence of Declan and Agrafall in this. There is a struggle that is coming in your future. A struggle that could result in something bad.
Very soon? Like tomorrow? Or like many days away?
I cannot say exactly when this shall be, for this is not how magic works.
Cool.
I will take one more for luck.
I've got magic that can tell me the weather.
But should you succeed in your endeavours, there will be much reward for your deeds.
Unexpected?
You may be a celebrated hero of some variety.
Well, more expected.
One,
She heard you at the table.
one that she will
Give her
appreciate.
that.
One that she will look to. One that she will place her faith into. Yes, there is someone in your life that will notice you for your deeds, that will... Perhaps it is tied to the rest of these cards, the magic, the struggle. It seems that if you are victorious in what is to come, then this patron will give you what you seek.
Big fight rewards. Cool. Excellent.
I trust this has been insightful for you, Mr. Leobrin.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Martin on chat.
Yoshimara, Senpai will finally notice. That's exactly what...
Cool. Lovely. Right. I will. Inside his head, the opener's like, must get in a big fight ASAP. But no one's there to tell.
Yes.
It's good that you spectated that fight earlier then. You'll just go and twat Beacon.
Yeah.
And it's a big fight.
Before you go, and suddenly
What?
her arm, like, considering how slow she is, this is incredibly fast. Her hand whips out and grabs your arm,
Flinch.
and she kind of pulls you close and looks you dead in the eyes. Her pupils suddenly very dilated. I have a sister. She has lost her power. She has lost her item, a magical ball. You must find it.
Okay.
Find it.
No, don't take a
And
side
she
quest.
will know. She will know
I've
that you
got
have
to
done
find
this.
a ball for your sister.
A magical ball. You will know it when you see it. But you're the one, the patron. She will know when you find this.
Who's your sister?
You will know.
Okay.
She travels the road. And she snaps back into her frail form. So it's kind of there was a darkness there about her as she gave this speech, and she kind of reverts back to her normal, genial kind of personality. I'm so sorry. It's getting rather late, isn't it? Good night to you, Mr. Leobrin.
Good night.
We're closing up now. I'll just do the door. And she very slowly makes her way towards the front door.
Going to
Band have packed up. And,
find a clean napkin.
they're looking to... And that'll be that.
And
She starts bolting the doors,
So you go upstairs.
leaving
I will
you to finish up your
head
drink and head
upstairs. And what am I about to find out, Mr. Malar?
I assume you go into the room.
Yep.
Niall's there on the bed sleeping.
Whole bed.
Is it a double bed, not two separate beds?
Don't know. Yeah, toss the DM. How many beds in that room?
There's a double.
Something's going to be an arbitrary decision.
No, there is another single bed in there.
Hey!
Mal is on the double.
Okay, that's good.
It's just the two of you in that room, isn't it?
Yeah.
You haven't dumped your stuff on the other bed or anything?
No.
Okay. Okay, just checking.
It's fine. Yes, I will go in and I will use my new cantrip, Mage Hand, to inspect the sheets from a distance before considering them.
Alright, so you do so, and
Roll
you can...
for a cockroach count. What crawls out?
A D100. No. They appear to be very clean sheets.
Excellent, good.
And, yeah, as you then climb into the bed, seeing that it's clean, feels like it's a warm, very warm quilt sort of stuffed with duck feathers. Similarly, the pillow is also feather pillow, very soft, very warm, very inviting.
As you get comfortable, Malal farts in his sleep.
I'm gonna then send my mage hand over and just try and like push as many of your blankets towards your rear end. So just as much padding,
Like an
insulation,
air
barrier,
dam.
yeah, to that area as possible.
Well, anyway, you do so and eventually get some sleep. In the morning,
I get notifications.
In the morning, you all wake. So you've got roughly 8 hours in, so it's about 11 odd o'clock by the time you rise and you're ready to greet the day. And actually, for you two, your room overlooks where your carriage is, but it's also got a sea view as well. You can see.
Okay, cool.
Which is very nice, overlooking the Star Sea, and you can see there's a buzz of activity in the village square where the flagpole is at the centre. You can see that there there's a couple of people holding a ladder which is up the flagpole, and there's somebody up the top of the ladder who seems to be tying some bunting onto the top of the midway up the flagpole. With the other end that's already attached to one of the other buildings across. It seems that people are making some preparations for some kind of celebration, some variety.
Cool, let's leave town.
Yep.
Yeah, in the morning.
Wake up.
And do you go get dressed, go downstairs, all that sort of thing, or is there anything in particular?
Mr. Leo Brad!
What? Nothing happened to the chest of
We must away. I'll wake the others. Stomp out the room.
Yeah.
Start knocking on doors.
So you get woken up by Malak. Chest is still there.
Crate's fine.
Yeah, it's all fine.
Cool. Give it a
Fleeting Look is actually dangling above it,
Yep.
directly looking down at it. And
Is he awake though?
you can't tell.
Cool. Fleeting, you awake?
Yes?
Just checking. But I'm gonna kick the crate and go, Doppelnurse, you awake?
Oh my god, help! Help me!
Do you want any food?
No.
Okay.
Is there a hole in there for poop? Is there a poop hole?
Nope. She says she doesn't need anything yet.
Okay. Doppelgangers. Who knows what their biology really is?
No poop hole.
Yeah.
On a couple of different levels.
They're literally round like a Ken doll, so no orifice.
Cool. If we're ready to go, like we wake up,
Mm-hmm.
gonna start carrying the crate down to the carriage, get that secured on with Fleeting and
No,
Rexland.
Try and, while that is happening, we'll try and whip up like a brunch or a breakfast for people. Like try and, could we get some food maybe to go, or just food, lots of food.
So it's the younger lady now serving it. Oh, of course. Yes. Well, of course, we'll need to settle up before you leave. Of course.
Oh, and yes, how well, might I ask, I don't suppose there's any discount for men of the faith. I shall show my amulet.
You whore.
Did I mention I've met a guard? No, miss, I don't suppose there's maybe a clerical discount there for... No, okay.
Make a persuasion check. I think that's fair. That's fair.
Maybe discounts get applied on check-in.
Problem is, persuasion is no.
Your voucher has expired.
17.
17. All right.
What's your
Well, I mean, not so often we get such distinguished guests, I suppose. Well, in which case, so it was meals for 8. It was 2 bottles of wine for Leobrin, your elven companion. Yeah, a whole pitcher. Yeah.
You're an alcoholic.
Yeah, I was like, just what? Why?
No, man with -1 constitution.
You also didn't ask. He said there were 2 wines. He didn't ask. So he just gave you the whole thing.
Someone's got a drinking problem.
He knows how to party.
Yeah.
He likes to party. Anyway,
It's cultural.
Cool.
the
Set up,
Oberyn
let's
bus is
go on the
coming.
What's the dollar?
So the dollar. So she starts doing her maths. So that will be altogether 8 gold pieces.
Oh, I'm more than.
Oh, sorry, plus the rooms, of course, the 2 rooms. 12 gold pieces. Apologies.
I will settle this up now, and I will remunerate from my friends. Here you go, Miss.
Call it. Let's call it 10, shall we? As a gift to the 8.
I thought Mr. Seven
May here,
was
as after all, it is the first day of Festiva.
Yeah, the
Oh,
rooms.
is it? Oh, indeed. That's.
It's a generous day, and I can see that you are, of course, a man of Festia and of the 8. As a, the girth. Anyway, yes. So
yes. Go with the 8, and I just pop her on the head, give her guidance for the next minute.
Well, may Festia's generosity be bountiful on your travels.
Oh, indeed.
And happy Festiva Day.
Happy Festiva.
Or Festiva, as we call it.
Let's go.
Come out. You all will be gold for the rooms.
Oh yeah, how much?
It's just gold each.
Alright.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll pay.
Okay, great. One.
As you're settling this up, you can hear the carriage next to you is also being loaded up, and you see the quartet, the 3 halflings. What the main one, Ramsbottom, seems to be nagging Crass and Rudy to load up the equipment.
Can we try and leave before them so we don't get stuck next to them on the road going the same speed?
You can try.
Yeah.
You have to make a. Okay.
Hurry up, check. Come on.
Yes, you have to. This will be in terms of skills, getting you to hurry this up. Let's make a general.
We're not just ready to go.
You got to pack up everything. So you got to put the doppelganger on and that sort of thing.
I did while he was paying.
I'm getting everyone else together on the carriage.
Malor comes out and just.
We also have to go by the town jail.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, we'll
do
take
we?
the
I
carriage
mean,
by
that person is now ensconced in.
We wanted him to tell us what the crates of wine look like.
Very good, Mr. Auburn, Mr. Self. Let's.
Also, if there's anyone involved that are there, he might recognise them as well.
This Fang guy. No, he's never met him, never mind.
Come, I will lead the way to the stockade.
We'll take the carriage and the horse though. Who's on the horse? Fleas can go on the horse.
Oh, you can try. Horse is not too pleased about Fleeting being near him again.
Horse just gives me a longing look. So it's okay.
Yes, as horses generally do.
The Oberon goes over and tries.
It's okay, horsey.
The Oberon's going to go over and try and ride the horse today.
All right, animal handling check, please.
Animal handling. That is a 16.
16. Oh, and it recognises you and bows over to you. Kind of feels a bit more at ease with your presence.
Hello, horsey.
Just kind of nuzzles into your shoulder a bit.
Horsey friend. Horsey's its name, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. This is very handy.
So, Uncle, I guess it is a Jew again. Rudy's talking to Brucon. Yes, Rudy.
Definitely won't see you tonight.
Definitely won't. Safe travels and just try and stay out of trouble, would you? Well, no guarantees, Brucon, but I've learnt a couple of lessons, I think, since yesterday. Well, I hope you have, anyway. Don't know how many more you can learn before something serious happens, Rudy. All right, Uncle. Right, so I better join the merry men. We've got a ball to go to. In fact, I didn't ask her. Where are you guys headed? Oh, and he looks over to you guys.
Yeah, horsey too.
Well, actually, we're due at the stockade, so he rolled an natural one on his deception, but he's moving away. He's just like, oh, goodbye, Rudy, and just starts running full pelt after you guys.
We're seeing Rudy again, whether we want to or not.
We're seeing Rudy at the party.
Yeah.
That's where he's going.
But we should go.
Yeah, and he just runs away from Rudy, who's like completely. Yeah, they're not telling me where he's going. All right, fine.
We don't have to be travel buddies.
Just shrugs it off and jumps and heads towards his carriage. So anyway, yes, you'll pull the carriage over to the council chambers. Again, you recognise from Hilberg and just Hilberg, I think so far. The white stone building, kind of similar to that, with the sort of ornate stone pillars and so on. So council chambers seem to be quite uniform in their appearance. Anyway, so you recognise that and head on. You heading inside?
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
guys want to do
Yeah.
this?
Yep, head on through. Malar, you can lead them through to where the armory and the stockade is, as
We
you know
don't know
it
where
is.
to go. Just go get him.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Oh, Mr. Shakreek, is it?
Why, yes, greetings and...
Is this somebody new?
No, it's one of the guys from last night, actually.
greetings and salutations, good man. I've come for my
Happy Festiva to you.
Oh, happy festival to you indeed. It's the time indeed flies. I'd completely forgotten that. Yes.
Transform.
I mean, it works because I like it. Yeah, that's a thing now.
Right here. Yes, I am happy. May festival go with you, my son. I have come for my the charge from last night.
Oh, yes.
They've lost him. They've lost him.
You'll have to speak to the captain about that.
Oh, and they would be where?
Oh, they have an office. I'll show you the way.
Lead
Lead you
on.
on over.
If they lose our fucking business.
That one. He's
Captain's
somehow the boss
door opens. Can I help at all?
Oh, greetings.
Gruff-looking chap.
My
Big
name
beard.
is Deacon Malachek Creek of the Hammerfern Institute of the Eight. Happy Festivus Day.
Yes,
and,
happy festival. I suppose that's what you're supposed to say, isn't it?
Well, indeed, I am a festival cleric here, and I met the man himself. Might be worth just. No, okay. So
Well,
I understand.
I'm not going to pry too much into what you holier than thou types do. Yeah.
Oh, well, we can all be holy in our own unique way. And then Malar starts to go
Not
off a
trying
bit
to
of a
achieve sainthood here.
rambling, just sort of, and
Round the houses kind of speech. Yeah.
Liturgical sort
Why
of.
do we let you talk? You have the
Why do you let me talk? I don't know.
Let's
Because
go
it's-
pick up a prisoner.
It's always fun that way. I would
Anyway.
let people with negative stats do things.
Unless I'm cut
It's
off
fun.
7 minutes later, sort of rounding on the point. And so.
Well, it was that long.
He,
We've come in.
he is literally like he's leaning like one arm like
I got +6
on his
for you.
face just looking decidedly bored, but is just humouring
If
you
it's
anyway.
gone past the 5-minute mark, yes, we start to come in.
Oh, and as I was saying, the bigger ass is the man that never asks. Anyway, I understand that while I left a man in your stockade last night, I very much wish to collect him.
Right, yes. So, yes, you brought in a charge last night, apparently.
Definitely.
He's now been released.
Oh, what now?
He was released. Somebody came in and bailed him, so.
I'm so.
You have a bail system?
You can't bail our prisoner.
I mean, it
You
was,
took a bribe for our prisoner.
It was felt that we didn't have a lot of evidence other than your clerical self as to the crime that had been committed, and what is a problem in Oraglor is none of Heroes Landing's business.
Oh, now, sir, I would respectfully disagree. Let us not forget the parable of the walrus and the stork, and 3 minutes.
No, we're here.
Let us
We
not.
were-
And he interrupts and says,
We were
"Let-
coming back for him to death.
Who took him?
"You got to understand.
In 8 hours,
It was felt.
you couldn't keep
It
a
was
prisoner
felt
in a
that,
cell.
given
We don't care
given the
what
lack
you
of
felt.
given the lack
Who
of
took
evidence,
him?
given that it is not our jurisdiction, and given that it is the first day of Festiva, that in generosity we would allow
A
Yes.
murderer.
And now we've got to go back and murder him later on.
Uh,
Great.
that those could be felt to be slanderous
Okay,
comments.
well,
We don't
sorry,
know
sorry.
that that is true. We have no evidence of that. Only your word.
Oh, with respect, I was able to summon one of the blessings of the Eight and ensure that the man was unable to tell a lie, and bore witness
forgot.
to 2 of your guards that indeed this man was party to an assassination attempt.
And casting a spell of such nature, I'm afraid we cannot tell for sure if the spell that you cast was in
We're
fact
sorry if
Could I-
you're
that or any other.
Could I ask you a
Insight
question?
Possession
check. Insight
or-
check this prick.
Could I ask? Yeah.
That's actually right. Fuck my insight. 18, 20.
20. Okay, with 20. Okay, so he seems to not be telling you everything. He seems to be. You get a sense of possibly making excuses to an extent.
How many people have we seen in this building?
Oh, you've passed at least 10 guards.
Just 10.
Yep, plus him.
Oh, just 10. We are level 4.
And
okay?
he says, look, the point is, whatever you may think about it, he has been released. I can't change that. It is out of my hands.
Who let him go?
It's not for me to tell you that.
Who came and paid his bail?
Again, I'm not at liberty to tell you.
Who's in charge of the watch? Is it someone from the...
I am in charge of the watch.
No, like who's actually in charge, sorry. What country's near here? What's the big city that we came from, Hilberg?
We skipped outside Rundar.
Rundar's the capital, yeah.
Rundar, that's where we came from, wasn't it?
Well, the outskirts thereof.
Yeah, you skirted round
Who's
it.
the Chancellor that we talked to?
Tarquin?
Yes.
Councillor
Tarquin
Charles.
Councillor Tarquin Potter. I'm going to say, so I'll say to the others that the Councillor Tarquin Potter that we're on the mission for, that this guy's trying to kill people working for the council. Who does she'll be able to replace the guards here, won't they?
Well, she can escalate matters up to her local representative that is up in the Senate at the moment, and they can certainly.
We'll have to go back and tell her that the guards here are just letting murderers go.
If you have a complaint, you can talk to our own councillor.
I mean, it's a very obvious complaint. If you're only going with, if you personally, a guard needs to see a murder before they can get imprisoned for one, that's a terrible system.
Or evidence thereof. We haven't been given any evidence, only testimonial.
That's where you keep them in the cell until you have evidence for or against.
As I said, he's been paid for, he's gone.
Where has he gone?
Who let him go? Who saw the person? Who paid? How much did they pay you?
Make an intimidation check.
Fuck off. 9.
I'm not at liberty to say.
No,
So do me a favour, keep your beak out.
How much
Right.
how much was this bail?
Again, it's none of your business.
Oh no, with respect, my charge is missing. It is all of my business.
You're welcome to. Hey,
where has he gone?
If you wish to talk to this person, you are welcome to track them down. I have no idea where they have gone, only that they are no longer here.
They're involved in a conspiracy to
not my
murder
business.
a large number of people. We would like to find them.
Persuasion check.
That is a 14.
Again, I can only take your word for that.
I'm going to stay out to him.
And
Where
you take
is
his
the chancellor
word
for
for
this city?
I do what I'm told, sir.
I'm going to step up to him and just go, where is the chancellor for this city?
The councillor, yes, they are in the adjoining area of the chamber, just other side.
Fine, we'll go speak to them. What's their name?
It's Councillor Smithburg.
And what's your name?
Captain Hen.
Yeah, we're Karen in this. We're being full-blown Karens about this. I'm speaking to the manager.
Captain Hen?
Captain Hen, 2 N's.
Captain Hen, when you say you do what you're told, did the prisoner tell you to release them?
Nope.
So,
but again, I am not at liberty to say.
So the person who told you to release them is someone who can tell you what to do.
Indeed.
Like Councillor...
What's the councillor's
thingy?
name?
Councillor Smithburg.
Is there anyone else in this town who is your superior?
As I said, the councillor is the overall authority in...
When we leave.
Yep.
I'm going to find this chancellor. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Do we really want this gentleman to tell us what he knows?
I don't like him, so I don't want to fuck with him.
But do we just want the answer?
Yeah.
Cool. Suggestion.
Oh, all right. Whiz save is that?
It is a wisdom save, DC 14.
Can't you innately charm people?
No fails. Fails.
He fails. I can charm, but it lasts 6 seconds. Captain Hen, you believe that it's going to be a lot easier for you and for us if you tell us who released this person and how much for, and if you know where they went, because then we will leave you alone and you will have a lovely day.
It was... it was one of the night guards.
They were ordered by the councillor. What was the other bit you asked for?
I think I asked how much and where they went.
Right, okay. 50 gold pieces. And he went... I don't know where he went. Certainly left Hero's Landing, that much is true.
What's this guy's
Thank
name?
you very much, Captain Hen.
This is Captain Hen.
But a guard on the orders of the councillor.
Oh, I'm the councillor's. Oh, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Malar starts to stomp out in the direction of.
I like my notes.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Suggestion lasts up for 8 hours concentration.
Or
right?
until the command is finished.
So he's told you the information, so the spell finishes, doesn't it? Alright.
Have a good day.
Guards!
Actually, no. The spell
Fuck
said
yeah.
the spell does. I did say, and you will have a good day.
Oh,
So
oh, okay.
So technically,
Guards,
he's gonna be having.
escort these men.
There we go.
These men to the councillor chambers, would you? I'm gonna go play some tennis.
Happy Festivus Day.
Happy Festival.
I'm so glad that the cleric doesn't know what the holidays are called.
And to be fair, it's been
It's
sprung
new
on me
information.
Right now.
Yeah, it is new information. So they escort you across the council chambers to the opposite side, and again, it's
Keep concentrating.
in some ways similar to Hillberg, but less
Detect
extravagant.
magic.
This one is a bit smaller, just the office. Enter.
I don't like him.
My name is Deacon Malar Shade Queen. I am of the Hammerfell Institute of the Aid, and I am one of the chosen of Festive. I have indeed met the god himself. Happy Festival Day to you.
Are you trying
now,
to be intimidating?
Tell me why you freed my charge from the stockade.
Sir or madame?
Sorry, this is
If it's a
a female.
Man,
If it's a sir, still call it that.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw my weight around a bit.
Got to wait.
Intimidation check.
We'll see.
Can we assist him with this just by looking tough?
Not yet.
13.
13. Sorry, happy Festival. Would you mind taking a seat?
no, my ire is up, my lady.
If you're going to continue in this form, I will have to fetch the guards.
We've just come from the guards who brought us to you and instructed us to ask you questions in regards to the councillor,
Well, that's convenient.
In-
Guards,
in regards to the people.
could
that
you enter, please?
Into regards to the person that you let go who tried murdering some of the councillors from the.
The prisoner that you freed last
Are
night.
you going
Why?
to Rachfell Manor today?
Somebody
Today.
was trying to murder one of the
Are you going to the?
murder councillors, you say?
Yes. You going to the big meetup? Rachfell Manor.
Rachfell Manor. Yes, yes, I was going to that. What? Sorry. What?
Well,
Yeah,
as
the
you know,
person-
we've
Murderer.
The person you just released
Hmm.
is planning to get rid of a lot of people.
Well, this
There.
is.
Kill them.
I'm sorry. This is not information I was given.
And so you let them go, and we brought someone in and said this person's tried to commit murders, and your first thought was, let's free them.
I was informed that they've been wrongly imprisoned.
Your guards were instructed to keep them here overnight before we collected
By
them.
who?
The inns at this town and the inn in between here and Rundar have had the bookings for the Councillor Tarquin Potter. This man attempted to assassinate the Councillor Tarquin Potter and her group that were heading towards the meeting in Rundar.
His group.
No.
Tarquin. No.
No, don't do it.
No.
So what?
No.
We've
It's
been
not Tarquin
no,
Potter.
we've
I've
been
met
tra-
Tarquin
We've been
Potter.
travelling with Tarquin Potter and the
We're traveling for Tarquin
dumb
Potter.
shit guy from the Crow
Gant
Fries.
Bron.
Gant Bronze from the House of Bron. This person attempted to assassinate their group. We've already.
They are also
Murdered
conspiring
and
to
cut-
assassinate everyone at the party tomorrow.
We've already
today.
we've already killed and cut off the hands of the other parties involved.
With it, what?
We commit injunction with the councillor's orders.
You have maimed assailants. You say?
Our high ground is disappearing beneath us.
I believe it says I'm trying to think of words.
What
I've
words?
got words.
What are the words?
Councillor.
Right. Justice. That's already been dealt out.
Leobrun is going to step in front of Seth.
It's like jammering. He just
Mallow
Anyway.
will actually maybe just put
Counts.
his hand over Seth's mouth.
Counselor,
Yes.
the person that we had captured and had put in your stockade for the night is involved in a conspiracy to kill very many people at Rachfell Manor tonight. Which is why we had him with us. He's also previously conspired to murder Councillor Potter and other people in Councillor Potter's town. And we would quite like to know who convinced you to release this person so that they can continue their crimes.
Make a persuasion check.
Different die. Yeah, that is a 19.
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to say, but they were. I can assure you, they were somebody of upstanding, of high society.
Well, this
I
person
find it strange that you're saying that this chap was a murderer. This was not the information that I was given at all. I had heard charges of assault, perhaps, but again, testimony by
poison is the plan.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to return with the forces from Rundar due to the severity of these. And you've assisted in the assassination attempt of every.
Well. Now let's not be getting ahead of ourselves here. I have not knowingly assisted in anything.
Mr. Seth, how about we get some extra help from you to right this wrong? If you could tell us who this person was, perhaps they are behind the attempt to murder. Perhaps they are a councillor themselves. Maybe they're attempting to remove their opposition.
Currently, you're our only one that's implicated in this.
I can only say that they will be, and I shouldn't be saying this. Guards, would you mind? And they leave the room.
Close the door.
Look, they will be in attendance at the party this evening. I appreciate your warnings, albeit you are strangers in this town, but you seem to have a conviction about your person that I'm entrusted to believe. They will be there tonight. Who did you say you were travelling with?
We're travelling with
Gant Bron
Gant Bron
of House Bron,
and travelling with Tarquin Potter.
and we are on the direction of Tarquin Potter.
And kind of looks straight at you and just nods knowingly. I cannot say more than
Give us
Can't
a
or
name.
are unwilling.
that. It is not my.
You realise this person.
You're the only person we can implicate in this.
You realise this person is trying to have you killed.
I can't tell you who.
Insight check that. Insight check the fuck
Yeah,
out
insight
of
check.
that.
Sure. You can do it as well. 'Cause she's looking straight at you.
Yeah.
It's going to be 19.
Is it Gant?
20.
There you go.
There's a
There
number.
you go.
When she asked, and you said Ganbron, and then she looked at you and started nodding. She was trying to imply something without saying it.
Right.
And she kind of gives you the knowing look again. I cannot say.
Indeed.
It
Cool.
is not my place.
Cool.
Seth catches none of this. Tell us who it is!
Seth, I think we've been told.
What?
Did
Know
Mal-
your voice, please. I will ask the guards back in.
Was that on the 20 or was that on the 19?
That was the 20.
That was the 20. So, okay, Mal's a little bit.
You see her nodding,
There's
but you don't know
something.
what it means. 'Cause
There's something.
you're not so au fait with social cues, so you don't pick up on that.
Cool.
But I appreciate the warning. Will you be in attendance at the ball this evening?
Yes, we are going there to attempt to stop this before it all goes
Don't worry, we'll kill all the werewolves.
bosom up.
Werewolves?
Any assistance that you might be able to provide would
See if
be
she
of
knew anything.
great benefit.
Can I insight check to see if that was an actual surprise?
Yeah.
5.
You haven't. She might be a really good actor. You don't know. Sorry. Were you invited to this?
Yeah, who actually is? Is it
Councillor Potter.
this normal party present, or the extras as well?
Is it just us? It's just us three.
Is Mr. Braun
I'm going to
there?
assume it's just the three
Okay.
of you.
Yeah.
Gant isn't there.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the thing we're responding to?
Are we going?
Yes,
We go. Yes. As part of our way of getting in, I will be there as Councillor Potter,
I see.
which will obviously work on the door, but probably not much inside. But once we're inside, we're inside.
And to cure my curiosity and any doubts I may have,
Mm-hmm.
do you have the seal?
Do I have the seal?
We're not,
Yes.
We're not that close to the ocean.
There, she gave you the seal. Yeah.
Yes.
Show the seal. No.
Not pander to that. That was terrible.
Anyway, you pull out. So you show her
Yeah.
the seal, the Council Potter's seal. Okay, so it seems. Okay, so it seems that yes, you have been. Well, I will not do anything to foil the ruse. But yes. Is it perhaps?
It's probably. I'm not going to go under that name inside the party where everyone already knows Councillor Potter.
Perhaps I would. Perhaps it would be best if I were to call in sick and not appear at this event.
That may actually work in our favour if she were to send maybe an envoy in place. It would maybe get another member of us legitimately inside.
If you send anyone, don't drink the food. Don't eat the food. Don't drink the wine, and don't let anyone bite you.
Mr. Seth, I'm thinking maybe she should send one of us in formally as her representation.
Does that change anything about our plans?
Legitimately gets one of us inside without having to be too sneaky.
Genuinely, that works. If she'll let you do it.
Yeah.
It's a
Don't
tragedy to hear that you're so ill and can't make it.
Perhaps you're an envoy. You should appoint an envoy to attend and maybe deliver your condolences in person.
I wouldn't offer any condolences, for I don't know anything.
For your not being.
I would wish a happy festival and yes, regret, I suppose.
I suppose if your sister's then you're no longer the chief suspect of the mass murder plot.
It is not. It is not becoming to at last minute change. Normally we send word far ahead. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Which one of us?
It's Malar, because it's your idea. With advantage, though. Hopefully that helps.
Oh!
Hey.
It went from a 1 to an 18.
That's what you like.
It's 19.
Okay, Mr.
Oh, I am Deacon Malar Shade Creek at the Hammerfirm Institute of the Eight.
That's enough.
Oh,
But a very impressive resume.
Indeed,
Carries on. 2 minutes.
one of the converted would be most welcome. And okay, here's my seal.
Oh, thank you. I may hand this to a colleague. If I doubt I will have much issue getting in as religious guidance for an envoy.
That should be fine. Yes, the seal is proof enough, I think.
This is okay. Seal from.
And if anyone does ask me any questions here in Heroes Landing, I will make sure to continue the ruse, to elaborate. Maybe not elaborate, but continue the conceit.
That would be greatly appreciated. We will apprise you of any developments on our way back.
Excellent. And thank you again. Please, yes, be careful and maybe make sure that if you can, whatever is to happen, please ensure that no innocent blood is spilled, if you can.
That is not our intention, man.
We're trying to reduce the blood spill to a close to 0, and only the people involved in trying to increase the blood spill to a big number.
What's her name?
It's Councillor Smithberg. You can ask her though, if you would rather.
If you want a first name.
No, just Councillor Smith saying.
Councillor Smithberg.
Smithberg, yes.
Smithberg. Throw on the bus as letting murderers go.
I'm
Unless we've got anything else, probably should leave this little.
Yep. Let's head on to
Drop
the.
a suggestion as we go past the guard's office so we can give him the finger.
Nope. I'm dropping it when we leave town.
I like his plan.
I
It's
want-
not dumb.
I want to rub it in. Fine.
Sometimes the best joke is the one that
We
you
leave.
left to
We've gone
get.
down from 4 prisoners to 1 today. We are doing terrible.
We've
on the
got
prisoner
one
count.
less thing to worry about.
You
He
wanted
was going
to.
to tell us who the murderer
You
was.
wanted to
I'm
kill
assuming
them
you're
all.
having this conversation as you're coming back to the carriage, right?
Yeah,
This
we,
all-
we go out to carriage. You see us like bickering. It's like, no, he was going to tell us this.
I'll be before. No, actually.
We're stopping at his pub.
Yeah,
on the
no,
way back.
I will tell you too about Bron.
Okay.
I don't know if he's I don't believe he's behind the whole werewolf plan. I think he was just doing his really I'm a spy master secretly thing.
That's a good problem.
But wait a minute. No, that's just.
He wanted that man to be his extra eyes and ears doodly woodly.
We have 2 points of correlation.
Hmm.
He was in Hilberg when the werewolf struck with the poisoned wine, and he has now been present at the release of a captive that could identify the poisoned wine.
Oh yeah, I mean don't
Yeah.
be ready to
We'll
snap
keep
his
an eye-
face off.
We'll keep an eye on him on our way at the ball, but definitely on our way back, we need to stop by the inn. If
Yeah.
Hogarth's there, we need to question about Bron, so we can give the information to the councillors. If this guy can, what his part was in it.
With regards to the carriage and the horse, who's on the horse? Who's taking the horse?
It
I
was
was
the-
me.
Oh,
You're
were
on the
there.
horse. So who's on the carriage in the carriage?
I'm driving the carriage.
You're at the top on the carriage. Who's outside? Is it Brucon?
Brucon's, yeah, Brucon's hanging off the foot.
I would like to go up to the side and just tap Brucon, bring him over to one side, and in Dwarvish, just I know Dwarvish.
I don't know, you know.
Yeah, I know Dwarvish.
Oh,
I would just.
no.
That's not. We can okay.
Oh, fuck.
I would just say, keep an eye on Bron.
Or keep an eye on Bron. He may have a greater stake in this development than we're aware of.
Understood.
It's
Understood.
actually fleeting can't speak dwarf.
I'll,
It's okay.
I'll walk up to you and sort of go,
If you could apprise Mr. Fleeting of the situation with Bron on the quiet, like.
I'll speak to him quietly in common. Because we don't share any languages. We barely share common.
you share the language. Just
So Fleeting will be on the front of the carriage with you, obviously,
I only share it with
Obviously.
Fleeting. I don't.
and
share it
Rexland's with you as well.
So I speak to. I tell Fleeting when Rexland's not there because I don't trust Rexland.
You're going to be travelling now, so it's going to be hard to
Yeah.
avoid him.
But I don't tell Fleeting until.
Oh, I see.
Time's
Okay.
there.
You'll turn
Yeah.
when we get
It's,
there.
it's
Essentially,
not
you'll
like,
tell him when you get
it's not
there,
like
yeah.
we're all going to stand next to Bron and go, "Psst, don't trust Bron."
Yeah. So pretty much.
Let's go.
We're going to go very
far.
far. We're going to go very far away from Bron.
So pretty much we're telling the party, bar NPCs
Well, yeah, we're trying
and
to.
Howland.
Yeah,
Just-
we're not going
We're
to
not
tell
telling Howland.
Doppelneris.
We drove with Neris like, hey, double Neris.
Guess
We
what?
don't trust some people we're with. Not you. You're cool.
You might have gone up in our expectations.
Cool. We're leaving town.
All right, and so yeah, head on the road again. The carriage draws out of Heroes Landing, continuing
Not very well
along.
named, these people just letting murderers.
You instead of continuing along the coastal road, you start heading north into the foothills. This is a lot more rough terrain. The path itself is sort of half made. It's a bit dishevelled looking. There's a few cobbles here and there, remnants of a path, but it's yes, it's relatively not well kept.
Yeah. Can we mould earth as we go? It's a bit bumpy.
I can mould earth as we go, definitely.
And it does smooth it out a bit, moulding the earth. Some of the hills are too big for you to mould, but it's it certainly smooths the travel.
We can't up to a mountain. Liam, take care of it.
I can cause ground to become normal if it is difficult.
So you pass into the foothills. Relatively uneventful travel. It's a bit of a grey and overcast day,
I
and
was not expecting that from you.
you do notice that the
as the sun begins to fade and the moon starts coming in the side, you can just see it poking through in places. It looks like it's going to be a full moon tonight.
Oh, lovely.
Of course, that's why there's not been things. He's been saving it for this.
The moon! Anyway,
I mean, if you're gonna release werewolves on any night, it's gonna be where they actually turn into werewolves, not where everyone just goes,
Wouldn't it be
oh,
the
that
person
tasted funny.
Wouldn't it be the person who's organised the event for it to be on a full moon? That's very coincidental.
It's very convenient. Anyway, overcast. Yeah, you glance it in places before the cloud coverage gets too much. And around about 7 p.m, the carriage starts pulling up. You go past. You slow down as you pass through a gateway, a grand sort of marble arch with Rachfell Manor carved on it. And as you pass through the fields either side of you, you can see a couple of outbuildings looking relatively like a little bit dishevelled, but maintained. They're still working buildings. They're not completely destroyed shacks. And ahead of you, you can see the manor itself in the distance. As you pull up, when you get closer to it, there's a water feature out the front to one side. You can see the main hall itself, made of this this white stone. Just in the centre of the building, either side of it, the two wings appear to be of a newer build. They're a much more sort of grey cobblestone. There are footmen there waiting for you to take the carriages, and they offer for you to go up the stairs towards the front door, and that's where we're going to end today's session.
Nailed it.
Oh. So you're right outside Rachfell Manor, ready for the ball.
You're attuned to your staff now.
Yeah, we've been traveling.
You can travel. You can attune while you're travelling, yeah.
We've travelled and slept.
So, folks, so that's it for today's stream. I will be back. Let me double check. I am available on Friday. I'm pretty sure I am. Yes, I will be. I'll be back on Friday to do our first campaign diary and Q&A for the year. So we're talking about some of the stuff that's been going on here, and I think with a lot of role-playing and lore stuff, there's going to be some good stuff to talk about. So come join me for that. That's Friday at 5 p.m. here on the channel, and then we'll be back, hopefully with most of the rest of the party, for the ball here on Monday at 6 p.m. normal time. And if you haven't done so already, check out our store. Get that 20% discount. Sad Jan 20.
Sad
Jan 20.
It's been a wonderful January so far. Sad Jan.
Smiles all
If
round.
your character dies, the thing's going to become Sad Dan.
Anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, stay safe. Bye.
I think the important thing we learned is that Mallard doesn't